massage your soul with this natural perfume, and you can bring wisdom to the mind of a fool.
It's Henrik Larsson's final league match, and it's live with kick-off just about 15 minutes away. It's Celtic against Dundee United. Also today we'll be featuring this afternoon's two other SPL matches. We'll be at East End Park to see Cup finalist Dunfermline take on Rangers, and third-placed Hearts against Motherwell at Tynecastle. Regular reports and highlights to come. Hello, welcome again to Celtic Park. You might just be aware of a theme emerging here. It's 7 years for the number 7, and coincidentally it's BBC Scotland's 77th and final SPL match for the time being anyway. Gordon Smith and Paul Elliott are with me here in the studio, and amazingly the total of their combined ages comes to 89. Oh, well, we've stretched it far enough really, didn't we? Let's hear from our commentary team, Rob McLean and Sandy Clark.
And I think it was pretty decent of us to edit out all the goals Henrik Larsson scored against St Johnstone when you were manager. What did you say to your defenders when you were playing against him?
Well, it was so hard to mark, Rob. He's such a good professional. He works so hard for the team with and without the ball. And if you work as hard as he does over 90 minutes, you're always going to get chances, and that's what he does. And you give him half a chance, as he's shown, he sticks them away.
He was all right, I suppose. Let's have a look at the teams. Celtic back at their strongest for the last league game of the season. Only 3 who played in the 1-1 draw at Motherwell on Wednesday night are in the starting lineup. David Marshall, Neil Lennon and Stephen Pearson. Back in come Mr. Larsson for obvious reasons, Chris Sutton, Alan Thompson, Didier Agat, Stan Varga, Bobo Balde, Jackie McNamara and Sandy's man of the match in the Old Firm game last Saturday, Stilian Petrov.
Yeah, you're right, Rob. Stilian Petrov's had another marvellous season. Recently he's shown great versatility, being asked to play in different positions, central midfield, makeshift striker, and where he'll start today, wide in the right hand side of midfield. But no matter where he plays, he's still very much a goal threat with those strong forward runs.
Jim McIntyre, Billy Dodds and Andy McLaren have 26 goals between them this season. Dundee United will have to do without all 3 this afternoon. Skipper Derek McInnes is injured as well, but that means just the one change from the team which beat Dunfermline on Tuesday night. McInnes out and the departing Craig Easton comes in. A Trinidad and Tobago strike pairing in Jason Scotland and Colin Samuel, and it seems certain to be farewell to Dundee United for Paul Gallagher and Charlie Miller.
Yeah, I think you're right, Rob, about Charlie Miller especially. It looks like his last game today. He really has had a marvellous season. At 28, he's fitter and stronger than at any time in his career. That means that he's more involved over the 90 minutes, and that makes him an all-round better team player. And it's not really a surprise. There's many bigger and better clubs than United looking at him.
Will they spoil the party? We'll soon find out.
Thanks, guys. So Larsson plays, Gordon, and so does just about everybody else. That's Celtic's Cup final team, isn't it?
I think it is, and it was quite interesting that they played that fielded that side the other week there, and Jimmy Calderwood said the same. Said that's who we'll be facing in the Cup final, and it's more or less a statement that that's his strongest side. So it's everything you expect. In the week from the Cup final, I think Martin O'Neill wants to keep the momentum going. He wants to get result in this game today in order to take it into the Cup final with a bit of confidence.
Yeah, because as we all know, they have lost a little bit of momentum recently. Henrik Larsson, the man of the day, Paul. What don't you admire about him most? His goal scoring, his general contribution, the fact that he's a model professional, or all of the above?
Yeah, I mean, we know he's talented, we know he's served this club with great distinction. I think he's a wonderful illustration for young players, how to handle himself on the pitch, off the pitch. Says the right things, does the right things, looks after himself well, and I think at a time where there's been a lot of adverse publicity about players' behaviour, he's a model professional. We know he scores goals, and also his assists. I mean, I wouldn't like to think the stats, but I'm sure they'll be very impressive. And I just think in this current generation, he's been an outstanding player, and obviously, I'm sure it's extremely quiet behind us. in 10 or so minutes, it's going to be alive again, and to watch him play his final game.
Yeah. Just not to spoil the party at all, Gordon, are we in danger of slightly overdoing it? I mean, there's been supplements in all the papers. We've got a documentary coming up week on Monday. Are we going a little bit over the top of it, Henrik?
Yes, but I think it is over the top. But I think he's held in high regard, even with people outside of being a Celtic fan. But there is a bit. I mean, there are other players who have had distinguished careers at the clubs that served very well, left and without all the hype. But there's no doubt he's been a tremendous servant for Celtic, and a very good player in the Scottish League.
No doubt at all about that. Incidentally, talking of that cup final, we'll have it live for you next Saturday. If you haven't yet got your tickets, then there's a chance for you. All you have to do is tell us the last time Dunfermline played Celtic in the Scottish Cup final. A pair of hospitality tickets for each team, so if you're a Celtic fan and a Dunfermline fan, there's chances for you both. Hospitality tickets for the final, 09011 110 863, and the winners will be announced on Sports Sound and Radio Scotland just before 5:30 this afternoon. It's a tough one for Dundee United today, of course. In fact, they haven't won here at Celtic Park since Boxing Day 1992. Duncan Ferguson scored the winner that day. Chick Young has been talking to the United manager, Ian McCall.
Ian, is there any danger you feel bit-back players in all of this today? Henrik's last show?
Well, yeah, maybe, but you know, we've got to try and contribute to the day. You know, I don't think Celtic would have it any other way. Just our luck, though. I think Celtic have been playing their kind of reserve team for 4 or 5 games now. And we arrive, and Martin obviously will play his big guns before the cup final. So yeah, it should be a great day. But we've got to try and contribute. We've got to try and look after ourselves. But I don't think anybody would have it any other way.
Yeah, because you've got a future as well, obviously as a gaffer, but as a team, and players make decisions of their futures.
Well, definitely. I mean, there's 1 or 2. We don't know whether it's going to stay or go, Paul and Charlie. But and we need a point to make sure we finish 5th, because Motherwell could well beat Hearts at Tynecastle. So you know, we've got a lot to play for.
So it's not definitely Paul Gallagher and Charlie Miller's last games?
No, but I think it's a huge possibility it will be. Unfortunately for us, because they've been terrific. Have you tried, or are you trying to persuade them otherwise? Yeah. We've made both offers, and for us, very good offers, in particular Charlie. But I think there's probably 1 or 2 bigger clubs than us in for them both. I suppose you better have a word about Larsson as well. What do you think? What kind of players have been for Scottish football? Well, I mean, usually for guys like that, the script's written and he's going to score today. I hope not, but fantastic player, great goal scorer, and by all accounts a gentleman. So good luck to him when he leaves here. Thanks, Ian. Okay.
Let's pick out then a couple of key players for this afternoon's final league match. And for Celtic, well, there's no one else we could have picked, really, Gordon, is there?
No, despite all the hype, I might have picked him still as a key player in his last game, because he has a phenomenal record. Even if he wasn't a good player, let me tell you this, that scoring record is phenomenal in itself. That means your contribution's fantastic. Different types of goals through his career. If it's a free kick, his sharpness roundabout goal here. There's 2 efforts here. Good save, but first to react and scores. And one aspect of his game, which people do give him credit for, but it's magnificent, is his heading ability. His leap, his timing of it, perfect.
I mean, what really is his attitude as well, do you? Because in football you come across so many people who've just got talent, but he's got so much more to him. And I think his unselfishness as well, because he's got so many other fine qualities, you tend to overlook those aspects. And you know, as you say, we've spoken a lot about him. I'm sure we want to get on and do the business today. But I think, you know, you come across various players in different generations, and people have often said to me, would he score goals in another part of the world? He would. Proportionately, he would always score goals, because he's got that talent. But what a marvellous team player as well.
He has been, hasn't he? For Dundee United, well, a player that you may have heard Ian McCall saying there may not be with the club next season, which would be a real shame, because Paul Gallagher has emerged, hasn't he, as one of the best young goalkeepers in the country, Gordon?
Certainly has, and it is a shame they're losing him at this stage, because he has had a fine season, established himself in the Scottish team, and is capable of great reaction saves, as we've seen in many occasions. And what the problem is he's leaving. But the other aspect of it today, why I mean he's a key player, because I think Celtic, I knew they would field a strong team today, Celtic possibly their best team, and I think that Paul Gallagher will stand between Celtic and our victory, and even Henrik Larsson getting a goal in his last ever game for Celtic. Gallagher's such an important player.
So there might be a few votes today for Henrik Larsson as man of the match. If you would like to cast your votes, then give us a call. It's 09011 110 861 for the man of the match this afternoon. Prizes from the Bank of Scotland, including the man of the match's jersey, a family match day out, and a handheld television. Right, we've heard from Ian McCall. Let's hear from Martin O'Neill, who will certainly want to finish on a win this afternoon, with that cup final coming next week. He also has been talking to Chick.
Martin, I was saying to Ian McCall that maybe Dundee United feel a bit overshadowed, bit back players today. It's the Henrik day out, isn't it, really?
Last game, the last league game that he's going to play for us, and it's a big day for us. It's a big day for him as well too. I'm sure he'll want to play his very, very best if he can. And I'm never sure that teams are ever overshadowed here. Coming, you know, we've had a couple of matches in the recent past here, and Aberdeen upset the apple cart, you know, followed on there by Dunfermline. So it's one of those type of days, but we're going with a pretty strong side.
I don't recall many players in history having so much hype about a farewell, do you?
No, I think that it's been well merited, to be perfectly honest. He's had 7 fantastic years at the football club, and all the accolades that are bestowed on him, he certainly merits.
The Celtic fans at this stage want to know not just farewell to Henrik, but I've got to ask you about incoming players. It's probably the wrong time, but any news on any signing fronts?
Well, no, you're right. First time of asking, wrong time to ask.
So I can't push you on that at all. They're basically my bed, as usual.
Not until after the game, and then I know you'll be the very first one to say, well, just not until Monday or not until Tuesday. Wrong time to ask anyway at the moment.
I'll make a point of that later on. All the best today, Martin. Thank you.
Thank you.
I think the words cards, close and chest come to mind, don't they? The Dundee United side are coming out here today with some very good young players, aren't they, Gordon? Young Mark Wilson's one that I think everyone's very impressed
Yes,
by.
I mean, the season didn't start well for Dundee United. There was a lot of criticism for Ian McCall because he was the one this last summer who was able to bring in players when other clubs couldn't, and then it didn't start very well for him. But I think that over the season he's established himself with the side. He's got a grip of the way he wants to play, the players who are effective for him. And he's come here today and he's left out some of the older ones. I mean, Billy Dodds, Andy McLaren, Derek McInnes is injured obviously, Jim McIntyre not available. So he's gone with a young side today, and I think that'll be an interesting aspect to see, because he knows with going with that young side, he's also up against Celtic's strongest side, and that's why it's a real test for him, with a view to looking to see what Dundee United can achieve next season, because I know that certainly Ian McCall wants to take them into a European challenging spot.
We've seen Aberdeen and Dunfermline surprising Celtic. Briefly, can you see Dundee United doing it today?
Well, we also saw Hearts win on Wednesday against Rangers. That was a total surprise, Dunfermline. So I'm loath to try and predict it. Maybe I should predict a Celtic win for Dundee United's point of view, but I still think Celtic will get the victory because they need to build the momentum towards the cup final. But we'll wait and see.
Yeah, Paul, what do you think?
They've just got a lot of youth. The boy in particular, Jason Scotland, scored 5 in the last 9, 2-footed, very powerful, very quick, with Samuel alongside him. Youth v experience. Knowledge usually says experience usually wins a day, but they'll be stretched.
Yeah, you think it could be a close match though?
I think so. You know, they've got nothing to lose, and I like looking at young players. You know, they're keen, enthusiastic, got a good attitude, and they've got nothing to lose. You know, they're comfortable in the SPL, so it's going to be a great day out and a great experience for the young players as well.
Good, well, let's hope we get a match befitting the occasion. The last afternoon of the SPL, minutes away from kick-off time. Last time they met here, of course, Celtic needed to score twice in the last 9 minutes in a very hard-fought victory.
I've been watching, I've been waiting in the shadows of my time. I've been searching, I've been living for tomorrows all my life.
The sun shining, all sets for a great occasion. Let's enjoy it. Celtic against Dundee United with Robin Sandy.
Someone leaving or something? These Celtic fans didn't know what had hit them 7 summers ago when Henrik Larsson was prized away from Feyenoord for a mere £650,000. What they now know, 238 Celtic goals later, is that their magnificent 7 is just about as close as you get to irreplaceable. This would be Larsson's last competitive appearance at Celtic Park, and there's Magdalena Larsson with 2-year-old Janice at her side. And I wouldn't imagine 6-year-old Jordan is too far away either. Celtic back at their strongest for the last league game of the season, and you would imagine, barring any injury problems, this will be their cup final team as well. Only 3 of these players played in the 1-1 draw at Motherwell on Wednesday night: David Marshall, Neil Lennon and Stephen Pearson. But back come Larsson, Sutton, Thompson, Agat, Varga, Balde, McNamara and Petrov.
It's certainly Martin O'Neill's strongest team in this moment in time, and he's happy with that 4-4-2 formation to start the game. But Jackie McNamara is a vitally important player. He's the one that can tuck in beside the centre-backs to give cover. That allows Didier Agat to go down the right-hand side and still in Petrov to play further in, closer to Pearson and up to support Larsson and Sutton.
The Dundee United team shows just one change from the 11 which started the victory against Dunfermline on Tuesday night. Skipper Derek McInnes has a hamstring injury, he's out. Craig Easton comes in. Also missing for United, key players missing. There are 3 heaviest scorers: Jim McIntyre, Billy Dodds and Andy McLaren. It's Jason Scotland and Colin Samuel, the 2 West Indians up front, and it seems certain to be a farewell to Dundee United for 2 big players for them this season: Paul Gallagher and Charlie Miller.
Ian McCall will certainly start with a 4-4-2, but it's the midfield area that will certainly change once the game progresses. Craig Easton, he'll protect the back four. Charlie Miller will play almost up beside the strikers at times, and the width will come from Barry Robson down the left-hand side, and Mark Wilson getting down the right-hand side to try and get supply into the box with the two strikers.
There's been a fair bit of party spoiling going on these last few weeks. Dundee United hope they're the latest to rip up the script. Aberdeen came up with a shock win here to end Celtic's 77-game unbeaten home record. Dunfermline won here as well, warming up for Hampden. Hearts wrecked Rangers' plans on Wednesday for a winning farewell to their famous four. Now the Tannadice team want to ruin Henrik's day. There might not be a dry eye in the house this afternoon, and you'd be daft to read too much into Celtic's end-of-season form. They've won only one of their last 5 games. The champions have lost to Aberdeen and Dunfermline and drawn with Hearts and Motherwell, but they showed last Saturday they can lift it when they have to. Rangers were overrun by Celtic in the second half last Saturday as Martin O'Neill's team made it 6 successive Old Firm victories. Dundee United are in the building, and Charlie Miller will lead them out as he prepares for the next phase of his career. Ian McCall has given it absolutely everything to try to hold on to the hugely influential Miller and Paul Gallagher as well, but he's pretty much given up all hope now, and they will pursue their careers elsewhere, and they will take some replacing. Now, wait for this. Never again will he play in a competitive match at Celtic Park, and how he has shone over the last 7 years, and what a role model he's been for youngsters in Scotland at a time when we've been struggling to attract youngsters to play the game because of all the other distractions and diversions. It's been a certain Swede who has done more than most to sell this Scottish game.
It really is the modern professional. Rob is an incredible player. He's been marvellous for Celtic. And Celtic, you've got to say, have been marvellous for him as well. It's always been a man who's made in heaven, and I'm sure they'll enjoy today. But United, they'll be up to make sure that he doesn't do too well, and for their own reasons they want to perform well. And it's a perfect day for football. The pitch is magnificent, beautiful sunshine day.
It's not just Henrik who's leaving, though. It seems as if Paul Gallagher is heading south, possibly to an English First Division club. There is, I hear, an English Premiership club interested as well in signing him in the summer. He's been very strong in goals for United this season, after being dropped, of course, right at the start by Ian McCall. John Underhill's not leaving. It's his 40th senior game of the season. And for Martin O'Neill and Celtic, it's a 60th game of the season. And of course, number 61 will be the Tennant Scottish Cup final. It's been billed as the Henrik farewell. Will Dundee United have other ideas? The Tannadice team picked up only 1 point in their first 5 games of the season. It was a miserable start, but it was a tough start against the Glasgow pair and the Edinburgh double act. But how they have progressed, how they've developed over the course of the season, and Barry Robson was on the ball there, maybe exemplifies how far they've come in such a short time, and hoping they can finish top 5 this season. The manager having set a top 6 target. But they're finishing the season strongly, Dundee United, and Ian McCall's team have lost only 2 of their last 12 matches. They came off ahead of Archibald. McCracken's clearance. There's Easton. Lennon to a gut. It's It's a sweltering Sunday in the East End of Glasgow. David Marshall now must be pretty sure he's playing in the Tennant Scottish Cup final. No Rob Douglas on the bench here today as a shadow hanging over him. And not much doubt that 19-year-old David Marshall, having sampled the Old Firm fixture for the first time this season and UEFA Cup football as well, will now play in the showpiece occasion which ends the football season. Chick, news of that?
Yeah, Rob Douglas actually is doubtful leaving for the bench next Saturday for the Tennant Scottish Cup final. Young McGovern is likely to be on the bench. I was speaking to Martin O'Neill just before kick-off, and he tells me less than 50-50 that Rob Douglas will be included in the Celtic bench. So it's going to be Marshall and McGovern for Celtic, but he's given them a chance. Didn't want him to play today in this match to give him any chance at all to be on the bench. There's Rob Douglas looking on today, and that's got a very, very slim hope now to be involved at Hampden.
Kerr and Mark Wilson clears. Stan Varga's header. Barry Robson flicks it on. Jason Scotland stopped by Stan Varga. Kerr, Robson, good challenge from Agats. Dundee United wearing black armbands today. Neil Glenn has died, a pillar of the United Supporters Trust. His sudden death has sparked great sadness on Tayside, and as a mark of respect, the United players wearing those black armbands this afternoon. Varga's clearance sliced out of play.
I think Ian McCall will be fairly happy with the way the game started. His team have passed the ball well. I'm sure they'll be trying to get Barry Robson down this left-hand side on the ball as much as possible. He's very, very quick, and that'll be an interesting battle between Robson and Magat.
Good work immediately from Charlie Miller. On the phone, Jason Scotland. And not for the first time in the match, stopped by Didier Agat. Neil Lennon. Larsson. Well, Sutton can't keep it. Good challenge from Easton. Charlie Miller fortunate to keep possession. Balde had to play it. Bobo Balde hoping to agree a new 4-year extension shortly to his Celtic contract. He's been good value. No transfer fee. Same goes for Stan Varga alongside him. In fact, it's a pretty cheap Celtic back four when you think about it. Didier got £50,000, and Jackie McNamara didn't cost enough lot from Dunfermline all those years ago. A couple of £100,000. Miller's throw. Balde there for the header. Petrov to Thompson. Celtic just warming up. There's Petrov. Comfortable opening to the game for Dundee United.
I think Rob, today, if United are going to do well, they've got to get the right supply to the strikers, Colin Samuel and Jason Scotland. If they play high balls up through the middle, Bobo Balde and Stan Varga, they'll pick them off all day. They've got to have decent balls into feet and in the channels in behind so they can use their pace.
Scotland won't play against Scotland, I hear. Jason Scotland of United not in the Trinidad and Tobago squad for the end of season international. He's been on top form, so maybe just as well from a Scotland point of view that he won't take part in that match.
I'm a little bit surprised at that, because Scotland is, you know, he's been explosive recently. He's come off the bench once or twice for Ian McCall and scored goals, performed very well. And recently, around about the edge of the box, he makes great runs across the face and then in. If he gets the right supply, then he's dangerous, and Charlie Miller's a player to give that ammunition to him.
Balde's clearing header. Mark Kerr is first there. Good challenge from Neil Lennon. Well, it looked like a good challenge to me, but John Underhill didn't fancy it.
Well, I take John Underhill as well to give this award. You can see there is contact made, but it looked as if Neil Lennon got the ball as well, so I think the Celtic midfield player just a little bit unfortunate to see that decision going against them.
Wilson's free kick. No marking at the back post. Chance for United to create through Scotland. They have a corner. Hearts have scored at Motherwell. Dennis Wyness on the mark. Motherwell 0, Hearts 1.
Hey, come on! Come on!
That's good news for United as they try to hold on to 5th spot. Robson's corner, spilled by David Marshall. What a save by Didier Agat. And Charlie Miller's effort is deflected wide. But what a bit of defending this was after Marshall's howler.
There's no real pressure on the goalkeeper. In fact, there's no pressure on him. It just simply makes a hash of it. But Didier Agat does really well, just throwing his body into an area to block the shot on the line. Otherwise, Celtic would have found himself behind.
Tremendous defending from Didier Agat. And Barry Robson's effort headed behind by Petrov, so it's 3 corners in quick succession for United.
Great delivery from Robson.
Five inside the 6-yard box for Robson to aim at, and he's getting plenty of practice at the moment, because here comes corner number 4.
He's good at it, Rob. United spend a lot of time in set pieces. Barry Robson takes anything down the right hand side, left foot, and you'll find Mark Wilson takes him on the opposite side, right foot, and it's good power on the ball as it comes into the box, hard to defend against.
Archibald and Scotland and McCracken and Innes and Samuel all in there. And anyone fancy another corner?
Plenty of practice.
And it was Colin Samuel's effort which was cleared off the line by Didier Agat. He thought that was a scorer from close range, and he couldn't believe it that Agat managed to block the shot.
I bet he couldn't believe he got the chance. Wasn't expecting it from Marshall.
Barry Robson's corner, safe hands this time from goalkeeper Marshall.
That'll help the goalkeeper's confidence after making a hash of the first one.
Yeah, it was good play all round, wasn't it? Because Colin Samuel reacted very quickly when the ball went through the fingers of David Marshall. He got his effort very much on target, and from that sort of range, he must have been convinced that was in, but it was a miraculous stop by Agat. Colin Samuel, who was scoring for fun last season with Falkirk, 16 he ended the season with, struggling for form and for goals at United, just 2 so far, but so close there to 3. Mark Kerr, a developing talent, and the same goes for teenager Mark Wilson. Lovely ball in, and Barry Robson and Colin Samuel were both drifting in behind the Celtic defence.
I tell you, Rob, it's a half chance. This is a great ball in. Mark Wilson's such a talented player down that right hand side for United, and Robson and Samuel, the ball just falling between the both of them. And the warning signs are real for Celtic early on. United have started a better team.
Sutton's flick, then Larsson. And no great pressure on Alan Archibald. Lennon. Archibald again, now Miller. No shortage of composure about Charlie Miller. But Chris Innes is short with the back pass to Paul Gallagher, and he had to hurry as Stephen Pearson was bearing down on him.
That was careless from Innes. You seen him there apologising to Paul Gallagher. The pass back was short, putting the goalkeeper under unnecessary pressure.
Free kick given against Innes for an awkward challenge. It wasn't much more than that against Sutton.
It's just such a silly free kick to give away. Celtic are so dangerous from this type of situation. It'll be a good delivery from Alan Thompson. The big guys are up from the back. Ian McCall will not be happy to take advantage.
In from Thompson. And Henrik Larsson denied his moment by Paul Gallagher.
This is tremendous play, both from Larsson. It's a marvellous header, gets up, gets on target with power, and what about that for a save from Paul Gallagher? Low down to his right hand side. That's not an easy one, but gets a full hand to it.
Petrov's corner, and an easy take this time for Paul Gallagher. And as we were saying of Derek Stilley recently, if he's looking to make up a show-reel tape to show to a future employer, then I think that save might be on it. It was a stunning one-handed stop. And I think, according to the script, that one went in.
Certainly yet.
Quick feet from Thompson. Offside. Well, and he's flagged offside by Graham Allison, the assistant on this near side. He's retiring, and maybe after that just as well.
No, I think he's okay, but this is the earlier one. Watch the leap from Larsson. It's a standing jump, but what about the height he gets up? There's real power on the header, equalled by the save from Gallagher.
And it was the right decision, Sandy, but I just wondered about the bravery of giving it.
Yeah.
Wilson. No, I didn't think that was getting to him. McNamara clears. Poor one, though. Tired. Charlie Miller running the show in these early stages. He's been very influential. Scotland, Samuel. And Celtic get it clear.
You can see what United are trying to do. They're trying to play through the midfield area. Charlie Miller heavily involved, and he's trying to pull those little passes up to the strikers.
Thompson to Larsson, and couldn't quite get the touch he was after. 13 minutes gone, Celtic 0, Dundee United 0. It's only goalless because of a spectacular save by Paul Gallagher. And that amazing goal line clearance, of course, from Didier Gad, which stopped Colin Samuel in the scoring for United. Archibald gets the better of Sutton. Alvin's challenge against Scotland. It's good to see Scotland scoring goals. 3 in his last 4. Miller's clever reverse pass to Craig Easton. That's off Neil Lennon, and behind, and United have another corner, and that makes it 6 already.
That's good play from Charlie Miller. He's so comfortable on the ball, doesn't panic. If United are under pressure at all, just give the ball to Miller, he'll make something happen.
Alan Archibald and Chris Innes both forward, looking to put more pressure on David Marshall. Wilson with it. Put it back in by Innes. And it's out for a throw.
That's a good corner kick from United. From the training ground, Mark Wilson looking for Chris Innes, sorry, at the back post. Jackie McNamara picking him up, and Innes won the header.
Charlie Miller's throw, and asking no questions of Celtic this time. But he's been in hot form, and I do hear a whisper that Charlie Miller might be off to Spain in the summer. There is interest in the Primera Liga and taking on his services. There's interest, of course, in England as well. He played down south with Watford previously, and he's a much admired player, Charlie Miller, and he's been in tremendous form since Christmas. Dundee United with 60% of the possession in the first quarter of an hour. And it's not too often that happens to the visitors at Celtic Park. Mark Kerr. Sternberger leaping for the header. Alde clears. The Football Writers Player of the Year, Jackie McNamara. to the Players' Player of the Year, Chris Sutton. And here. I wonder who will be our top player of the afternoon. 09011 110861 for your thoughts. 25 pence for the call. Sign Man of the Match top, Bank of Scotland Family Match Day. And a handheld TV are the prizes. Sandy will make his decision later. Larsson's overhead kick, in goes Chris Sutton. And that was good backtracking from Mark Kerr, who went with the Sutton run.
I think Chris Sutton's looking for a handball here. Good play from Larsson. Chris Sutton is always onto the second ball. And just there, I think he's trying to claim for a penalty kick, but I don't think there's any way John Underhill would have given that. Good defending from Kerr.
Larsson. And that was good anticipation from David McCracken. And Gallagher clears. Petrov chasing. Alan Archibald got there before him. Good challenge from Pearson, very quickly in against Kerr. Good movement up front from Samuel, pressuring Varga. And taking chances there, expecting Marshall to get off his line.
I think he's lucky here, Stan Varga. Takes far too long. He should deal with this. He should just get it away. Under a lot of pressure, I tell you, that could easily have been deemed as obstruction inside almost the 6-yard box.
I don't really know what Stan Varga was playing at there. Presumably he should just have got rid of that. It was a long way to escort the ball back to Marshall.
Yeah, but I think he was looking for his goalkeeper to come and deal with it.
But surely, Sandy, when he doesn't, you just lump it.
You're right, get it away. Don't take any chances, especially inside your own box.
Baldi just thought for a moment about the pile driver. Agat's cross. Chris Innes with the header. Pearson didn't get a good touch. Archibald intercepted. Well, Dundee United have given it away there, but they've started pretty well, posing a serious challenge to Martin O'Neill and his team at the moment. I imagine Ian McCall will be pretty satisfied with the start.
Very difficult to tell. He's been writing furiously in that notebook of his, Rob. It's obviously going to be his autobiography, and I look forward to reading it in the days ahead. But he's been taking many notes, and you never tell with Ian when unless he's Joyce leaping about the park, and otherwise that might go perhaps. But otherwise he keeps his emotions to himself. I think he doesn't look all that happy. He probably is deep down, but I think United done all right. But he doesn't be saying too much to the players that he is happy.
Was that a yes or a no?
So maybe.
In the 20th minute, goalless at Celtic Park. Didier Agat. Larsson keeps possession under pressure from McCracken. Into the feet of Sutton. Agat fouled by Robson.
It's another silly one from Barry Robson this time. It was Innes before, but really you shouldn't give away set pieces in that type of area. You know you're going to get put under pressure.
It might have been better gambling on Didier Agat's final ball not being too hot rather than giving the chance here for Thompson. It's Alan Thompson's free kick. Henrik Larsson's header. Paul Gallagher couldn't get hold of the ball. He was under pressure from Stan Varga, and Gallagher fuming about the challenge from the Celtic central defender. The touch from Sutton. Larsson rolls it for Stephen Pearson. Straight up Gallagher. Great chance for Pearson to score.
That's a good save from Gallagher, but Stephen Pearson should stick this one away. Great play from Larsson. Holds the ball as long as possible. Allowed Pearson to get into a good area, but it's a good height for the keeper. You expect that to be a goal. This is Larsson again with the header, and the goalkeeper is looking for a free kick here. We'll have a look at it. I don't think there's too much in it. Is there maybe a hand stuck up there by Varga?
Yeah, Varga had his hand up there. Not much doubt that Paul Gallagher was never going to get a hold of that because of the challenge from Varga, and The keeper wasn't happy. Agach, Petrov. It's good play from Kerr. Robson trod on the ball. Balde's cross is poor. Takes the heat off. Well, it's a quiet, sunny Sunday afternoon for the Sunday papers, but it's not calmed down in that technical area, Chick, is it?
It's all right for you up there. I'm down in the front line where it's hot, you know. Down here in the cold face, and I have to say that Ian McCullough and Martin Neal have been a wee bit ding-dong between one another about a decision. I'm not quite sure what triggered it, but it turned into a bit of jovial banter in the end, but it was a bit heated at the start.
Still in Petrov. Stephen Pearson had that great chance a couple of minutes ago, and while it was a decent save from Gallagher, Pearson should have made it much more difficult for the United keeper.
Should have scored drops as simple as that. From that distance,
that's the phrase I was looking for.
Don't sit on the fence.
Charlie Miller with a chance to break for United, 3 against 3. On one side Samuel, on the other Scotland, but Celtic players now flooding back behind the ball. Miller again. Jason Scotland to Mark Wilson. We can only call him the talented teenager for another month. Craig Easton's turn, and a blistering shot, but it was great at David Marshall.
Yeah, straight at the goalkeeper, but it's good play from United. Good in the build-up again. Kerr, Miller, Wilson involved, and eventually Craig Easton having a shot.
Another player in the shop window. Yep. Of course, Easton, after so long at Tannadice, looking for a new club in the summer. And that's a case of join the club. Alan Thompson, crossfield to Didier Gap. Larsson. Celtic unable to breach the Tangerine line as often as they can. Wilson gets away from the Balde lunge, but Neil Lennon was covering in behind. What a season he's had.
Does that so well, Neil Lennon. He gets back, helps out his back four time after time. I tell you what United are doing well, Rob, in that central midfield area. They're trying to overload in there. You've got Charlie Miller, Craig Easton and Mark Kerr all tucked in against two Celtic players, and Miller and Kerr especially are getting on the ball. And you see it there from Charlie Miller. That was a great forward pass to Scotland.
And a great Charlie Miller pass for Scotland might be a phrase we're hearing before too much longer. He's been in top form.
He's certainly good enough. He's now showing the right attitude as well.
Miller's cross came off Petrov. Agat prevents it, going behind. Quinnis. Scotland the target now. Against good defensive play from Didier Agat. Stan Varga spotted the sprinting Pearson, but gave it too much.
He's unlucky, Pearson. That's a great run forward. Just too much on the ball for Varga.
Well, they watched that all the way. Flipped on by Petrov for Sutton. Larsson's after it, but Paul Gallagher will get this. Paul Gallagher was a standout for Scotland against Denmark recently. One wonders if Bertie Vogts will stick with him as first choice. It'd certainly be difficult to drop him on the basis of that performance. Thompson's pass carrying too much pace for McNamara.
Celtic haven't passed the ball well at all today. McNamara won't be too happy with that. Chris Sutton, Alan Thompson especially, when they've been on the ball, they've given it away a few occasions without being under real pressure. It's so unlike them.
I think the pained expression on Martin O'Neill's face there told the story. Celtic not really out of second gear yet. But credit to Dundee United, who are looking at a team with a fair bit of confidence. A lot of good results behind them now, and they hope gone are the days when they lose 5 goals to Celtic. It's happened twice already this season. In August and November, they were hit for 5 by the champions in waiting. Colin Samuel losing his footing but keeping the ball, and would you believe it, it's another corner.
Well, United have earned it. Good passing again. You're talking about them there, Rob. They've got a system they're more than comfortable with. Flat back 4, a midfield that's a diamond in the middle of the park, which is very well balanced, and 2 quick strikers.
Five tangerine shirts in the box, 2 just outside. Barry Robson's delivery, and that's a waste.
He's trying to find Dennis again at the back post there. It's just a waste, that one, you're right. Too much on it.
Disappointment for Robson, disappointment for Ian McCall as well, but Barry Robson has come on to some very strong performances. After a shaky start, Robson was sent off in his first Dundee United match, and at times was being criticised and labelled a first division player, but how he's come on since those jibes, and he's been a big part of Dundee United's recent form. Here he is, but offside.
I tell you, he's unlucky. I'm not too sure if Rob's offside when this is played. It's good passing from the United striker. Scotland wide on the right-hand side, sorry.
Rangers are 1 down at Dunfermline. Dunfermline, the cup finalists, 1, Rangers 0. Gary Dempsey scored the goal, and a fair bit of controversy surrounding it. A quickly taken free kick. Michael Moles certainly didn't approve. He was booked for his protest. Rangers captain today, Moles, booked. Dempsey a scorer. Larsson's effort tugged wide.
This is a good effort from Henrik Larsson. He does everything right. He stays onside. It's a good ball forward. You can see he's onside looking across the line, and you've got to go across the goalkeeper, try and find the far post. And Gallagher was worried for a minute. Pleased to see it go wide.
Sloppy defending that from United, playing him on.
Yep, a good run from Larsson, but I think it was Mark Wilson, the right back position, that got it wrong. Didn't hold the line.
So Hearts are ahead at Motherwell, 1-0. Dennis Wyners and Dunfermline 1-0 up against Rangers at East End Park. Gary Dempsey scoring the goal. The Rangers not happy about the way the free kick was taken, leading to the Dempsey goal. Thompson to Pearson, challenged by Kerr. Thompson on the right foot, and calmly back by Barry Robson. Apparently Alan McGregor was just organising the Rangers wall at the time Gary Dempsey scored for Dunfermline. What did you think, Sandy?
I thought it was okay. If he was 100% right.
I thought you might say that. 0-0, half an hour gone at Celtic Park.
It's a very slow tempo to this game today. You can understand why. It must be so warm out there. You're absolutely boiling up here. Can't believe you're sitting with your top off.
That's just the hot air coming from you. Pearson in, Innes away, and the news from East End Park gets worse for Rangers because Michael Moles, the captain, has been sent off, a second yellow. He's off. Rangers down to 10 men. A goal down as well. As tries to work it through the moles, and it's his last match for Rangers, and that was not at all the way he wanted to bid farewell. So it's turned into a nightmare end to the season for Michael Moles. Red carded at East End Park, and having to hand over the captain's armband, and Rangers one down. It'll be some double for Dunfermline if, having won here, they go on to beat the other half of the Old Firm as well. Jimmy Calderwood, having suffered for so long against the top two. Petrov to Ali. Thompson. Headed away by Archibald. Might just have let it go there because it was heading straight through to Gallagher. Jason Scotland. Charlie Miller. Chris Innes, signed by Ian McCall from Kilmarnock earlier in the season. Mark Kerr followed his manager from Falkirk. And Archibald was Partick Thistle's longest serving player before joining up at Tannadice. Bulgaria's Footballer of the Year, Cillian Petrov, nominated as well for the Scottish PFA Awards. Long from Lennon, out comes Gallagher. Well, it's good to see Scott Patterson. Two Pattersons on the bench for Dundee United this afternoon, but Scott Patterson has been out for so long with a serious knee injury, and there were whispers, as Owen Coyle tries to hide him, there were whispers that Scott Patterson's career might be over, but it's good to see him making an appearance back on the bench.
Yeah, 9 months he's been out of, and ironically the injury he was telling me was here at Celtic Park, so there were worries. Nice lad, Scott, and he just wants his season to start here, which is not a good day to start your season in the last game, is it, really?
He'll be hoping he can play a big part for United next season. Colin Samuel on the byline. Corner kick off Stan Varga.
Good play from Samuel. He was looking for the corner, just delayed the cross enough to let Varga get there to block it to win the corner.
Those Celtic subs warming up at the corner flag got a bit of a fright as Varga careered into them there. Mark Wilson with the corner, waiting for it. Was Innes. It's a corner on the other side.
Again, it was Innes at the back post. Jackie McNamara picking him up. I'm a little bit surprised in that. Jackie's not the tallest of players. Innes is one of the bigger ones in the United team. I think the assistant got that one wrong. Jackie touched it first, then it was Innes, then it went out. Should have been a goal kick.
Robson whips it in, and a little juggle from David Marshall, but he held it that time. Couldn't find the clearance he was looking for. Henrik Larsson was heading one way and the ball went the other.
Just got the kick all wrong that time.
Kerr gives it away to Neil Lennon. Dundee United working hard at making life difficult for Celtic. 10 minutes away from the half-time whistle, and that's a free kick against David McCracken.
Yeah, no question about that one. Henrik Larsson just holding his ground. McCracken all over him.
Jackie McNamara's only goal this season came against Dundee United. And he went for the double, and it's another good save from Paul Gallagher.
He's got to make the save, Gallagher. It's a quick free kick. Thompson slipped it to McNamara, driving forward, and that's on target. That's getting in. Bottom left-hand corner. Gallagher again a full hand to turn around the post.
Set-piece chance for Celtic to get ahead. Thompson's delivery, no takers apart from Paul Gallagher.
Easy one that time for Gallagher.
He's had a good first half, hasn't he?
Yeah, he's played well. He's had to play well. is in top form. Apart from his saves, Rob, he also plays the kind of sweeper role where he's so quick off his line, Gallagher.
Yeah, he's answered all the questions, Gallagher, that Ian McCall had for him and about him when he took charge at United. First thing McCall did was to put Alan Coleman goal and to drop Gallagher. But he's come back with a vengeance, and he's a better keeper now.
Yeah, he's much more mature as well. I played against his dad, Jim Gallagher, over many years at Clydebank, and I know his dad coached him for a long time, and the coach is working well for him. He doesn't see that one till late. It's through a ruck of players. He kept his eye on the ball and made a great save. I've got to say, he's probably no better than Carl Robin was. Jim won't mind me saying that.
His challenge, stopping Charlie Miller. Miller to Kerr. Tidy performances from United.
Yeah, I think, as I said earlier, Rob, the tempo's certainly suiting them, but they have passed the ball well. Robson going forward.
Robson lifts it in, and the diving header goes from Colin Samuel. And it was deflected behind. It's a corner.
I tell you, Rob, this is great defending from Jackie McNamara. Robson does really well, plays the ball in there into a great area. And Samuel very brave going for it, but McNamara sweeping round the back as he should do. There's another corner kick. But United have played well, they've passed it really well.
United's 10th corner of the first half. In from Wilson. Lennon there. Back header from Easton. Good recovery though from Craig Easton after having set up Thompson. Made a good challenge against Larsson.
It was a great challenge from Easton, and he's got to get there, otherwise Larsson would have been all the way through.
Poor pass that from Didier Gats. Easily dealt with by Alan Archibald. Charlie Miller, clever pass, good vision. Picks out Jason Scotland. Harry Robson surviving the challenge from Lennon. Poor pass from Kerr.
Yeah, it's a silly pass from Mark Kerr. Just play it to his feet. Doesn't have to play in behind. But I'm sure Mark won't be too happy with the fact that United in that midfield area, Charlie Miller in particular, get lots of time in the ball, not closed down quick enough, allowed to lift his head and find a forward pass. I said it before, if you give him that time, he'll certainly make good passes.
Motherwell have equalised against Hearts. Scott MacDonald, Stephen Pearson using his pace, and the deflection could have taken that anywhere. It's gone behind for a corner, but it could as easily have gone in.
Yeah, it's off Chris Innes. It's good play from Celtic on the counter-attack. Pearson's shown his pace, going beyond Mark Wilson, trying to play across the face of goal for Henrik Larsson. And Innes doing really well to throw his leg into it to take it away from goal.
Stan Varga and Bobo Baldi both making their presence felt, or hoping to, but not in the end of that delivery. Craig Easton was first there. In from Agat. Good header from Chris Innes against Chris Sutton. Sutton's touch not good enough there. He's breathing down Charlie Miller's neck now.
I don't think that'll make Charlie too popular with the Celtic fans. But he really had nowhere to go, had to play it out.
Done with feeling. Sutton's cross, McCracken's header. Oh, Lennon. Again, right place, right time. Jackie McNamara. Henrik Larsson. Good 1-2. Chance to create something for McNamara. There was a hesitation in the 6-yard box, and just for a moment there, you thought Stephen Pearson was going to prod this home.
Just the slightest of touches would have put this one into the back of the net. It's great play from McNamara, playing a little 1-2 with Henrik Larsson, and this is a great ball across the face of goal. Gallagher's not too sure, do I come, do I not come? And Pearson just can't get there. Good play though. I think Celtic need that injection of pace into their game. Jackie McNamara certainly leading by example, coming from the back.
Well, he's done well in the first half as Paul Gallagher, but that was almost a fatal hesitation because he came for that and then stopped. And Stephen Pearson was not far away from making contact.
Yes, you know, as a goalkeeper, when you make your mind up, you're going to come, you've got to come all the way. Alan Thompson not too happy there.
Three and a half minutes left of the first half. Agat wins that aerial tussle with Barry Robson. Miller to Scotland. Well, they blocked the cross. Lennon going to calmly playing his way out of that tight situation.
But United working hard in that corner, not allowing Celtic out.
Well, a great challenge from Lennon. A little bit of urgency shown by him. Through Thompson to Pearson. Larsson. Good challenge by Archibald on Sutton. Mark Wilson. Breaking out of defence. Charlie Miller alongside him. Wilson wants it back. And very nearly got it back, but good defending, good judgment from Jackie McNamara.
There's a chance for United. Charlie Miller a bit disappointed with his final pass. Offside.
Offside against the Great One.
This will be interesting. I think he's actually onside when the ball's played. In fact, I'm sure he is. It's Dave McCracken playing him on.
Ten-man Rangers have equalised at East End Park, and Fernando Rickson has scored his first goal of the season, cancelling out the earlier free-kick efforts. Controversial one it was too, from Gary Dempsey. And Michael Knowles, in case you've just joined us, sent off in that match for a couple of yellows. And just recapping as well that Scott MacDonald, a scorer for Motherwell, cancelling out Dennis Wyness's opening goal for Hearts. 1-1 between Motherwell and Hearts, 1-1 between Dunfermline and Rangers, 0-0 here. And at the moment, no time to be added. So, not much more than a minute of the first half left. Barry Robson controlling the ball on his head. Looking for obstruction against Stan Varga, but no joy for him.
No, I think John Underhill got this one right. Robson, it was a good first touch, good control of the ball. But Varga just stands his ground. He does well to get face-to-face against the Celtic defender, but knocked it too far in front. Varga just makes sure he gets there first. Spot on referee.
Inside the final few seconds then of the first half. And Celtic unable to get the sort of superiority they're looking for, certainly in terms of scoreline. The reverse pass from Larsson. Pearson's cross blocked by Wilson. Two of Scotland's top young players there. The young player of the year, Pearson. And Mark Wilson is certainly one for the future. A lacklustre Celtic, unable to hit the front, although Paul Gallagher of Dundee United would have to take some credit too for a couple of sparkling saves, particularly one which denied Henrik Larsson a Celtic Park farewell goal. And Didier Agat doing a tremendous job on the goal line to stop Colin Samuel getting Dundee United in front. United will be well happy with the way they've played in the first period, not just containing Celtic, but also doing some attacking of their own. And Charlie Miller has been hugely influential in the midfield area. Dundee United 0-0 at Celtic Park, and here's Gordon Chisholm.
Gordon, what have you made of that first half?
I think the boys have done well, Chick. We've been out there and I think we've frustrated them a little bit. You know, we've tried to keep the ball. I think the boys have done that well. We've defended well. As always, you can't be slack. You can't turn it off at any time. Celtic will always get liable to take advantage. But we're quite pleased with that first half.
Yeah, you know of old that Celtic can hit you all the way to the end of the 90 minutes.
Well, they've done it the last time. You know, you just can't switch off at all. It just takes a minute. Even for our set plays, we've still got to make sure we're organised and defend well.
Okay, Gordon, thanks for addressing him. Thank you.
Thanks, Rob.
Indeed, United could have been ahead from Barry Robson's corner kick. Their corner kicks in double figures. Fumbled that one by David Marshall, and he could have been punished by Colin Samuel. But what a great bit of goal line defending that was from Didier Agathe. Then it was Paul Gallagher who stepped up, looking for the Man of the Match award, possibly, to deny Henrik Larsson a final farewell effort, and then to stop Stephen Pearson as well. Pearson had a couple of first half chances to score, couldn't take them. It's 0-0 at half time.
Yes, there have been chances, a couple of dodgy offside decisions, which we'll see a little bit later on, and overall, Gordon, I think a pretty even game, not much in it.
I think it is an even game. I think Dundee United have done very well. I think Ian McCall will be delighted with how well they've defended. They've relied on Gallagher, of course, producing some saves, but he does that on a regular basis anyway, and he's kept them in the game. But they've played well, made some good passing movements going forward, and really taken the game to Celtic. And in Celtic, you could say they're lacklustre, but I think they're just struggling a little bit to cope with the way Dundee United have started the game.
Their application is terrific, Paul, isn't it? I think they've almost taken after, well, Aberdeen and Dunfermline have won here. No reason why we can't take the game to Celtic and get something as well.
Absolutely, and I think the way Dundee United are doing it is impressive. They've got hold of the ball, they've passed the ball. I think the midfield, three, they're playing 4 across, but there's 3 of them. They've worked hard at Celtic's space, denied them time and possession. And I think the enthusiasm is good. There's a lot of urgency to their game. I think they've been productive on the ball as well. And I think if they get it forward to Samuel and Scotland, they've showed that they can be a threat.
All right, thanks, Paul. No goals so far, 0-0 here at Celtic Park. And a very interested onlooker is Big John Hartson, who's with Chick.
Yes, John, nice to see you about the place. Is it hard watching all that, not getting involved?
It is hard. I'm not a great watcher anyway, like, you know. I don't particularly enjoy sitting up there watching games, but it's the final few games of the season, so just thought I'd come along.
So what's the comeback to? What's the latest? When will we see you?
Well, I'm back now. I start training tomorrow with the rest of the boys. I've spent 4 or 5 weeks in the gym with the medical people, and I'm been plodding away on the treadmill and getting myself to a certain level of fitness. And I join in tomorrow now, so I'll have a full week's training before next week. And whether I'm involved or not, obviously it's up to the manager. But you know, once the medical staff say then that's you, then start training. So it's obviously it's down to the main man then from next week.
So there would be an outside chance of you being involved at Hampden?
Well, obviously when I start training, as I said, it's up to the manager then. But I think once the medical staff say that's you, I'm away from them now. It's me back in with the boys. So you know, it possibly might be a bit early because I've had no football. I'll just have a week training with the lads, you know, 8v8s, a bit of the ball and whatever. But obviously I'd love to be involved, like, you know, after all my disappointments I've had. But we'll just wait and see.
Look forward to see you back, John. Thanks a million.
Thanks.
Yes, he'd just love to be involved at Hampden next Saturday, the big man, wouldn't he? Right, let's take you back 24 hours then, and Dougie Vipon reports now on the final 3 matches in the bottom half of the SPL.
Stevie Patterson wanted to cancel this game because he was struggling to find 11 fit players. Fortunately, John Stewart and Richard Foster were fit, and they combined for the opener, despite a valiant effort from Derek Suter. The rookie keeper did all the right things to keep Stewart at bay, but you can't legislate where the ball will end up. Unfortunately for him, it ended in the back of the net. After the interval, the visitors stepped up a gear and earned an equaliser in the 73rd minute. Stephen Milne it was, scoring his 8th of the season from his favourite distance. It's been a pretty woeful season for Aberdeen, and right in the final seconds of that season, Steve Lovell made it even worse. A fine through ball and an equally fine finish, meaning the Dons have plenty to think about and fix during the next few months. If this was a boxing match, it would have been stopped in the early stages. The Lions roared while the High Bees whimpered. Captain Stuart Lovell powered in the first blow. Top scorer Derek Lilly used his head to put away number 2, thanks to a perfect cross from John Paul McGovern. Then, wouldn't you know it, out of nowhere, Hibs managed a counter-punch. Matthias Dundee striking the low blow. But Livingston were in control, and David Fernandez said goodbye to the Almond Vale fans with the type of goal he is entertained with so often. Then, with Hibs almost down and out, Lee Makel made sure this bout was marked no contest just before the final bell. No need for a standing count. 4 and 1 were the only numbers that mattered. Even though there were 4 goals, this was a game all about misses. A missed offside decision. Chris Boyd getting the benefit of the doubt, although I can't understand why there'd be any doubt in the first place. Followed by a missed penalty. Fortunately for Boyd, rebounds count. Gary Hay, I'm sure you'll be glad to hear, didn't miss. He didn't miss James Grady here. Nor did he miss Jimmy Mitchell here. James Grady, though, missed the penalty, but the same rules apply. There was another shout for a missed offside, but this time the officials were bang on, which let Chris Boyd set up Craig Dargo to give Killie the advantage. But then Dargo showed he is better up front because his defensive ability leaves a little to be desired. And guess what James Grady did from 12 yards? Yes, it surprised me as well. 2-2 final score.
All of which means that it's Dundee who are the best of the rest. They finished top of the bottom half, and that's a terrific achievement in view of what's been happening off the field at Dens. Well done to Jim Duffy and everyone at Dens Park. Now, also yesterday, of course, Inverness Cally Thistle won the Bell's First Division Championship with a 3-1 win over St Johnstone. That gave them the title by a 1-point margin from Clyde, whose 5-2 win at Brecon was ultimately to no avail. But will the champions be playing SPL football next season? Manager John Robertson says that it's all now down to the Inverness board.
There's only one option. I think we've shown today we're an SPL team on the park with a huge crowd in today, which is a shame that we can't play SPL football here. There can only be one decision. This team deserves to go to the SPL, and in my opinion, we should make the decision. Wherever we have to play, we play in the SPL.
Gordon, I've no axe to grind for any of the clubs involved, but I said yesterday I think our game's in danger of becoming a laughing stock. If there's no relegation again, it's the old SPL, Self-Preservation League again, isn't it?
It is a problem because you've got to have an incentive for teams to play in a league, whether it's to stay up or whether it's to get promotion. Inverness deserve to win the league. I mean, them or Clyde would have been I think would have been worthy winners and teams that were promoted. Unfortunately, both teams had to look at playing ground sharing for next season. It doesn't matter. I still think
it's a huge financial burden, isn't it?
It's a major financial burden. I personally think they should be allowed in the Premier Division without having to ground share. I think they should still be allowed to play their own stadium, but the rules have to be changed for that. It has to be voted in, and I think it should still happen.
Yeah, it's a farcical situation, isn't it? 2 other matches taking place this afternoon in the Bank of Scotland SPL. Let's get a report on the first of those. East End Park, Dunfermline Rangers, from John Barnes.
Well, Dougie, Rangers have come from behind to lead at the break in an amazing first half, and what an end it's been to Michael Moll's Rangers career. His last game for the club and as captain as well. It ended after 30 minutes when he was sent off for a second yellow card. He was booked in 27 minutes for dissent for disputing Dunfermline's goal, and 3 minutes later a lunging challenge and goal scorer Gary Dempsey earned him his marching orders. The goal itself came from a free kick 22 yards out. As the Rangers players tried to organise a defensive wall, Gary Dempsey cheekily took it quickly, chipping the ball into the net, and referee Alan Freeland gave the goal, much to the disgust of the Rangers players. Fernando Rickson took over the captain's armband after Moll's departure, and 3 minutes before the interval he fired an equaliser from 25 yards. And then in stoppage time, an exquisite finish by Chris Burke, lobbing Derek Stilley from just outside the area, means at half-time it's Dunfermline 1, Rangers 2.
Thanks, John. So 10-man Rangers leading 2-1. It's the same scoreline at Tynecastle, the afternoon's other match between Hearts and Motherwell. Ken McRobb's watching this one.
A goal in the last minute of the first half has given Motherwell an interval advantage. It was Hearts who took the lead in the 5th minute. Paul Hartley appeared to have lost possession in the right of the Motherwell penalty area, but he won it back, catching the well defence by surprise, and picked out the unmarked Dennis Wyness, who had the simple task of putting the ball in the net from 6 yards. But as the half progressed, Motherwell came more into the game, and with 36 minutes gone, Clarkson crossed for Burns. His shot hit the post, but Scott McDonald made no mistake, thrashing the rebound past Greg Gordon to equalise. And then, in injury time, a corner on the left was headed into the net by David Clarkson to give Motherwell the lead. At half-time at Tynecastle, it's Hearts 1, Motherwell 2.
Thanks, Ken. Don't forget you can see the goals from those two matches after things have wound up here at Celtic Park. Talking of which, nothing each between Celtic and Dundee United. Let's look back through the highlights of the first 45 minutes. And very close to the start, 7 minutes in. What a howler by David Marshall here, Paul.
Yeah, but he does extremely well. He's designated to mark the post, and he gets a great block. Actually comes off the block, off the post, and denies Samuel.
Great save there, wasn't it? This is Pearson, a lovely play against on Larsson, just flicking it into path of Pearson. Gallagher again in the right spot, good position.
We picked him out as a key player, and he has been. This is good United build-up, Paul, isn't
Absolutely, good combination play, passing from left to right. Good little ball comes in, great turn, and it's a good effort on goal that forces Marshall to make a save. But very encouraging and very good play.
No, was Barry Robson offside here, Gordon?
No.
Didn't think so.
I don't think he was scoring anyway, but he got it wrong. So that's not as important as I think the next one we're going to show, which is similar. Now that was the one when Larsson went through. Obviously, he had the shot that he was onside there, but this is McNamara's shot was a good save.
Good effort, wasn't it? It's been impressive, isn't it, Gallagher? And he gets a strong hand on that and diverts it away from the goal.
So close, that one, wasn't it?
Pearson's going in, but this is the other one. This is a real chance, and once again, I think onside.
Yeah.
So it's very close to call it, and you're meant to give the forwards the benefit of the doubt. In both occasions, the forward never got the benefit of the doubt there, but Larsson might have made more of that one than obviously Robson made in the first chance.
So it's goalless so far. The Celtic fans hoping that Henrik Larsson will commemorate his final league appearance here at Celtic Park with a goal at the moment out in the sunshine at half-time. The Celtic fans are acclaiming the club's under-21s, led there by the legendary Danny McGrain, one of the coaching staff here at Celtic Park, and indeed their under-19s as well. Both of them also won their league championship, so it really has been a season to celebrate for Celtic, winning the SPL and the under-21s and under-19 league as well. A lot to look forward to in the future for Martin O'Neill's side. So, second half, what have we got to look forward to? Celtic, I think, will need to lift their game a little bit, Gordon, won't they?
Yeah, they will have to lift their game. You know, maybe there's a reluctance in some of the players' minds to do that, considering the fact that they want to remain fit for the big match next week. This game doesn't really mean anything to them, but they've got the cup final next week, and you just think one or two of them in their head are thinking, I don't want to be injured here, and that might just stop them making the sort of challenges they normally would in order to try and dictate the game. But if Martin O'Neill wants to win the game, Celtic need to step it up from the way they're playing at the moment.
Yeah, players do that though, Paul, don't they? I mean, it's a cup final. Nobody wants to be injured and miss a cup final.
It's a psychological thing, and also as well, though, the fact that we strongly believe that's his best team, so they know that's the first 11, so everybody wants to stay fit. But you know, professional pride's important as well, and I'm sure I know at half-time he'd be emphasising, want them to play better, get hold of the ball, pass the ball, take the initiative. They are the home team. The onus is on them, and you know, start working Gallagher as more than they have in the first half.
Yeah, I'm interested to see Scotland and Samuel playing together up front for Dundee United, which they tend not to do. I don't know, they maybe similar kinds of players.
Yeah, I don't think it's a great combination because I think they are pretty similar. Scotland's probably got that a little bit more pace and power, and has been more effective for Dundee United this season. I think he probably suits maybe better playing with McIntyre up there, who can win things in the air and at least build from that way. They can play a long ball up. But the both of them are a threat to Celtic. But I think that Dundee United's play has been pretty good from the back. The two centre-backs have played very well against Larsson and Sutton. I think they've marked them really well, made it tight for Celtic in order to build the play up. Celtic have switched Thompson and Pearson as well, so they're obviously trying to get at Dundee a little bit more on the right-hand side, where Matt Wilson's a very good player. He likes to burst forward there, joining up with Mark Kerr. So I think that Celtic will try to get in the wider areas and deliver a bit more service into Sutton and Larsson.
Now there's a man that almost everyone here at Celtic Park will exempt the Dundee United fans from that, will want to see scoring in his final league appearance. Let's see whether the deadlock is broken in the second half. Back to Robin Sandy.
It's been more like an end-of-term prize-giving than a half-time interval here, as Celtic's under-21 and under-19 teams collected their trophies, and Celtic are the best team in Scotland for now, and those successes of the teams down the age ranges give promise of strong Celtic sides in the future as well. And of course Celtic took the Premier Prize, clinched the title at Kilmarnock 4 weeks ago, and there's no doubt there's been a switch off since then. Lifted only last Saturday for the Old Firm match, and they'll look to lift it again next weekend as they look for a league and cup double against Dunfermline at Hampden. But here against Dundee United, and well, giving the Tannadice team all the credit for the way they've been organised and the way they've played in the first half. Celtic far from firing on all cylinders.
Well, they haven't, I dare say it, Rod, they haven't worked as hard as they normally do. They normally Celtic close teams down, don't give them a minute to lift their head and play passes, and United have had lots of the ball in the first half, and that's strange, that's unusual here at Celtic Park with the visited team being so dominant. But I'm just looking at the way the Celtic are starting in the second half. Stephen Pearce is playing wide on the left and Alan Thompson in the central area. They changed into that formation just before half-time, and Martin O'Neill's left it for the start of the second half.
Vargas header. Kraken, just a hint of handball as he defended that. Easton down the line for Scotland. The Marshalls had one or two jitters in goal for Celtic. But I guess from his point of view, he wants to get rid of those today rather than next weekend. At the age of 19, looking forward to an appearance in the Tennis Scottish Cup final. Strong play from Agat, but it wouldn't stick for Sutton. Charlie Miller did well to get on the end of the pass from Mark Kerr. No free kick given against Stan Varga.
No, the referee was out.
Still Ian Petrov, Henrik Larsson. Deflected wide by Alan Archibald.
Good defending from Archibald, but good play from Celtic going forward. That's, I think, the first time that Sutton's linked in today. Petrov for the pass across the face, and Henrik Larsson's a tight angle. It was on target, and Mayweather slipped in. But Alan Archibald doing well.
Two minutes into the second half. Alan Thompson's corner. Chris Sutton peeling away for the header. Didn't get enough pace on it to get it past Paul Gallagher.
That's a good corner from Celtic though. Thompson again, decent delivery, and Chris Sutton fighting his corner just on the 6-yard box there. And Henrik Larsson just inches away from picking up the second ball, but Gallagher again sharp, down to collect it.
Sutton's pass intended for Pearson. He's got it now. And a great effort by Stephen Pearson, spotting Gallagher a couple of yards off his line. Tried to chip this in at the far post.
I'm not too sure, Rob, if this is a cross or a shot. I think when I look at it there, I think he did try to chip the goalkeeper, try to find the back of the net. But there are certainly players in the box at the far post area. If he throws it up to the back post, there's a real chance of his teammates attacking it. Larsson's in there.
He hasn't scored for a couple of months, Stephen Pearson, but he's certainly had chances here, both first half and second, to add to his 3 Celtic goals. And of course, before that, 5 for Motherwell. The young player of the year, as regards both the football writers and his fellow professionals. Thompson's pass plays in Larsson. It's the wrong side of the post again for Henrik.
It's been a good start to the second half for Celtic, lots of pressure. Alan Thompson doing really well, Larsson staying onside. Only one thing in his mind here, I'm going to try and hit the target. I'm not thinking about passing, but it's unusual for him. It hits the side net, he's normally on target with his shot. The Celtic have started better now.
So still only the 238 Celtic goals for Henrik Larsson in his 314th match. Craig Easton feeding off the scraps. Jason Scotland cuts it back for Charlie Miller. Blocked by McNamara, and then the Colin Samuel effort cleared by Stilian Petrov.
It should have been a goal. Charlie Miller was too castle, should have stuck it away.
A double chance for Dundee United in the space of a few seconds. Firstly for Miller, if he'd given him more, it was surely in. And then Samuel couldn't quite believe it as McNamara cropped up on the goal line to knock the second effort away, but it was the first chance for Miller, which was the big chance.
He won't get a better chance than that one, Charlie Miller. You would expect him to stick it away.
taken on legendary Dundee United status that he scored there. Agat's building up ahead of steam, but his pass deflected. Chris Innes can clear. Good hold-up work from Scotland. Barry Robson wants it down the line. Gets it now. Turning inside Neil Lennon. Miller's made a great run. Here's Charlie Miller. Can he score this time? Foiled by Marshall. Great save. Danger not over for Celtic. Robson chips it in. Stan Varga heads it clear. Won by Agat. Fouled by Mark Kerr.
Now by yellow card.
I just don't know why Alan Thompson has got to get himself involved in these situations afterwards.
It does it all the time. The referee's always going to give the free kick for that challenge on the gap from Mark Kerr, and the yellow card's been produced. That's Kerr in the book. Can't have any argument whatsoever. But really, it's been a great start to the second half. Chances at both ends. This is going to be a real chance for Charlie Miller. This is the second one. He had an easy run earlier on, skips round Jackie McNamara, and good goal game from David Marshall, gets a full hand to the ball, but this is the earlier one. It's Colin Samuel winning the left-hand side, playing across goal, and from here, Charlie Miller, you would expect him to stick that in the back of the net. He's far too casual, takes it too easily, and then eventually good defending from Varga.
Thompson fouled by Scotland, clumsy rather than malicious.
You wonder, Rob, if United will regret those missed chances. Should really have been in front.
Thompson on the set piece. Sutton the target. Varga's up, offering his support. The overhead kick clearance by Craig Easton. And having been on the attack, now United having to defend. What can Agat do with this? Not a lot is the answer.
It takes too long, Rob. He's got to pass the ball earlier. He's in a great position, Agat.
Alan Archibald is trying to run off a problem for Dundee United. He was caught by his own teammate, Craig Easton, a second or so ago, and he's struggling at the moment. He's going to give it a couple of minutes, I think, Archibald, to see if he's okay to continue at left back for United.
I'm sure he'll be okay, Rob, but just a kick. He'll run it off.
Just
a kick, lad. Can't pass off the game.
Well, it's been a lively old 0-0. 53 minutes in, just about. Chris Innes looking at Colin Samuel, but his header's not a threat. We seem to have packed a fair bit into 8 minutes of the second half.
Yeah, it's been good. You know, United have played the part. We said before the game, Charlie Miller would push up front as much as possible. And whenever he gets decent supply in there, he always creates things. But he should have scored.
It would have been some leaving present for Charlie Miller as he prepares to move on from Dundee United. And he just wasn't sure enough there about what he was doing. It was a terrific opportunity with the goal gaping.
Yeah, he tried to slip it past into the side net almost, the side off the net, but he got it all wrong, so just to put his foot through the ball.
He's certainly prominent in the match though, Charlie Miller. It's 2-1 Motherwell at Tynecastle. That was the half-time score. It's still the score, and it's 2-1 Rangers at East End Park. 10-man Rangers. And of course the repercussions potentially for Dundee United if Motherwell winning. If United lose, they could lose 5th spot, and the money that goes with that, tens of thousands of pounds at stake for dropping a place in the table if it comes to that.
55,000 it is, Rob, one place. That's the difference. Just pocket money to you.
Not that Dunfermline are counting, of course. Stilian Petrov bursting through the midfield. Agat supplies the width.
Larsson's header, and a big chance for him again to get the goal he so desperately wants.
He's had chances today. This is a better ball from McGatt. Lifts his head, good delivery. Larsson, he's well up again. It's a decent header, but he doesn't get over the top of the ball enough to get on target. But better for McGatt down that right-hand side. He gets this so often. Far too often doesn't deliver.
Talking about Dundee United, Motherwell have got better goal difference than Dundee United, so despite the fact there's 3 points between them at the moment, if Motherwell get level on points with United, they'll go above them on goal difference. But at the moment, United in a drawing situation, 0-0 at Celtic Park. Turning in a good show. Marshall clears, took a touch off Charlie Miller on his way away. Sutton, Petrov, wide for Pearson. He's off. Still in. Larsson to Lennon. Sutton. That's good play from Archibald, tucking in from left back to help out in central defence. Big Easton. Jason Scotland. Trying to play in Colin Samuel. Cut out by Stan Varga. Sutton lays it off to Lennon. He was knocked over by Innes. Advantage being played by John Underhill. I presume that's why he's got both hands in the air. Against cross, deflected. It was awkward for McCracken. And Henrik Larsson almost spectacularly scoring.
It's another chance. McCracken doesn't deal with this at all well in the box. It's a deflection in the way in, and it doesn't attack the ball, doesn't get it away. And Larsson as ever, he pounces onto the loose ball, but just again can't turn it over his shoulder, can't get it on target. He could have been offside. The linesman doesn't put his flag up. Larsson keeps playing, and again you've got to say he's unlucky.
It's the third time he's ruffled that side net. Scotland slips. Lennon has it. Sutton. Petrov. Easton to Kerr. Charlie Miller. Mark Kerr again, a lazy pass. It doesn't find Scotland. Thompson intercepting. And Celtic on the move again. Difficult phase this for Dundee United, trying obviously to come up with what they delivered in the first half.
Yeah, Gordon Chisholm told us at half-time was happy and off-camera Ian McCall endorsed that, but just in the last couple of minutes he's been out of the dugout just telling his players to lift it. He feels they've dropped the pace, taking the foot off the gas a little bit, giving the ball away quite easily, and just out of them again, telling them to lift it, concentrate. A couple other football cliches as well, Rob, but the general message of the manager is pick the game up again.
Didn't look too happy there, did he? McCall. Not for young children, that one.
Must be something in the water. Kerr's pass to Scotland, and that sums up the last couple of minutes for United. Some wayward passes.
But the pleasing thing for Ian McCall will be whenever they get the ball forward into the last third, they look dangerous. Look as if they're capable of scoring.
Come on. Yeah, and what you've got to remember is that they're minus Jim McIntyre and Andy McLaren and Billy Dodds, all of whom have been scoring goals for them this season. And those three players obviously give them a lot more variety than they have with this front and this front too. Kept in by Gallagher, under pressure from Pearson, fires it into the crowd. Squares up to Thompson. Sutton's back heel and Gallagher off his line. David McCracken left it to him.
He does that well, Paul Gallagher. When he decides to come, he comes all the way.
Lovely pass to Jason Scotland. Barry Robson puts the ball in the net. It doesn't count. Offside.
This one will be close. Good play from United. Charlie Miller could maybe have picked out Barry Robson the far side, and when you look there, if anything, it's just a fraction offside. It's very, very, very tight. Robson sticks that away easily. Oh, I've seen them given.
Yeah, I think he was just off, half a yard in it, but it was good pass from Charlie Miller. The intention was good.
Charlie Miller looked up there, Rod. He could have played the first ball to Robson. He was on his own and got in front of the gap, but elected to go wide first.
He's been all over this game, Charlie Miller.
He picks up so many loose balls just off the front in dangerous areas for United. He's got such creativity.
But will he be man of the match? He has to clear it with Henrik Larsson first, doesn't he?
I know who the favourite is. Could it be him?
Lennon's free kick. Was there a push on Varga by McCracken? Celtic certainly thought so. Poor pass this time from Miller. Sets up Lennon, and now Agat. Not the final ball from Agat, but Celtic still have it. Varga to Thompson. Kerr blocked the shot. Now Colin Samuel.
Chance for a break.
Mark Wilson getting up in support. There's Samuel. It was a chance.
It's a good counter-attack from United. Samuel involved, playing it away to Wilson, and this is a decent ball in. Samuel finding a bit of space inside the box. He can't get enough power on it to beat Marshall.
.62 minutes in, Celtic 0, Dundee United 0. There might have been quite a few goals here. Still waiting for number one. Henrik Larsson's effort didn't really catch the shot.
Again, it's another half chance for the striker. He does well here. It's a good run. Gets it on target, but can't get enough power. Can't get across Gallagher enough because the goalkeeper too many problems. I'm looking at Celtic now, Rob. Neil Lennon's actually playing right back. Petrov's playing that central midfield area. I got wide right in the midfield. So Martin O'Neill's trying to tinker with things a little bit to try and get this opening goal.
Thompson lost his footing there as he played the pass. 6 days away, the Tennant Scottish Cup final at Hampden Park between Dunfermline and Celtic. Dunfermline's first Scottish Cup final since 1968. Celtic looking for a League and Cup double. Lots to enjoy about the build-up to the match, so be with us from 1 o'clock onwards, a 3 o'clock kick-off.
Will you miss me next week?
No. Where will you be?
Working.
Charlie Miller's pass to Jason Scotland. Amara clears. Good skill from Wilson, then give it away.
Good play from Matt Wilson there. Took a knock just in the halfway line. Caught the balance, I think it was.
Further back from Easton to Gallagher.
Rob Craig since played well today. I know he's looking for a new club in the summer, leaving United. I'm sure he won't be short of offers.
He's a tidy player, Craig Easton, but maybe he's been at Tannadice too long. Sometimes you need a change.
That happens, yep. Yeah, it won't do him any harm.
Thompson's measured pass to Agat. It's a foul given against Barry Robson, and he'll get himself a yellow card if he carries on like that.
Yeah, the referee's never going to change his mind. He might not think it's a free kick, but when you look at it there, he's put his arm right across the gap, so John Underhill right to award the free kick. Robson shouldn't argue.
Thompson probing at the Dundee United defence, sliced by Easton over his own crossbar. Celtic can leave the heavy brigade forward.
There's so many big targets in there. Balde, Varga, Sutton, Larsson. Pearson's a decent size.
In from Petrov. And a free kick given against Bobo Balde. And Chris Innes didn't fancy the challenge too much, had his say.
No, John Underhill blows right away. You see it there, that's just two guys going for the ball again. I don't see too much in that inside the box. Put it this way, I don't think the referee would ever have awarded a penalty kick in that situation. It would have been vice versa. That would be a heavyweight bout, Innes and Balde.
"25 minutes to settle this one between Celtic and Dundee United, the final league match of the season. Good pace from Scotland, but Balde has it. Agat to Sutton. Thompson. Offside.
I think it was off. The assistant at the far side of his flag up nice and early as soon as the ball was played forward. Well, when you see it there, I tell you, the assistant's got it wrong. And it's just a little bit late coming out.
Actually, when you see it like that, yeah, it's fairly blatantly onside, isn't it?
Yeah, no, he's got a better view than we've got. Sees it right away, he's looking across the field to play. Yeah. Frustrating for players when that happens.
Rangers have scored a third at Dunfermline. And it's teenager Ross McCormack. He was fouled in the box by Barry Nicholson, penalty kick, and he wanted to take it himself. And he's just scored his first top team goal, having been scoring all season for the under-19s and the under-21s. Ross McCormack, the third Rangers goal, and Alec McLeish was so impressed he subbed him. So won a penalty, scored it, and then taken off. But Rangers 3-1 up, despite being down to 10 men. Michael Moles red-carded. Dunfermline were ahead there through Gary Dempsey's goal. Chris Burke, a goal scorer as well. So a couple of young Scots on the mark for Rangers as they prepare for a big rebuilding job in the summer. Thompson through, Sutton after it, and the ball spun off the turf there from Chris Innes, and you just wondered for the moment, but it's gone wide for the corner.
You wonder where it was going, but no option. Innes had to go for the ball. Maybe should have put it a little bit wider for the goalkeeper, but he got lucky. It was past the post.
Thompson chips it in. Sutton and Larsson give it their best shot. Colin Samuels there, so still in Petrov, and so was Chris Innes. Free kick given against Barry Robson. Alan Thompson's left foot. Henrik Larsson! I can't believe it, he's blazed it over the top.
Well, you've got to say you should stick this one away. United players attack the first ball, leave Larsson round the back post, and maybe it doesn't fall quick enough for him. But a player of Henrik's quality, you would expect him to stick this one in the back of the net. He's desperate to score, everything he seems to hit. He's maybe snatching just a little bit at him. Maybe even trying too hard, that as it sounds.
Yeah, he is too keen to score. I think he is snatching at these chances now because he's desperate to mark his final competitive appearance at Celtic Park with a goal. And of course, he's marked so many milestones in his Celtic career by actually scoring, and he'd love to do it here. And at the moment, he's just looking too much for the goal. And if he were to relax a little bit, it might just come. Lennon, Chris Sutton, Henrik Larsson, too high again.
Yeah, it's maybe just a little bit lucky this time. Again, it's from the set piece, it's thrown into the box. Sutton, good header. Larsson back to goal, does this so well. Tries to turn and swivel, but he catches it just a little bit early. knocking it high over the bar.
Martin O'Neill's team have had 14 shots on goal, 7 of them on target, but we're still goalless, despite Dundee United's chances at scoring as well. Dunfermline have got a goal back. Gary Dempsey again, his second of the game. So it's now 3-2 Rangers at East End Park. 20 minutes left at Celtic Park. The champions being held, meantime, by Dundee United. And indeed United have had their chances as well to have won the game. Bobo Balde playing as right winger at the moment for Celtic. Chris Sutton takes a tumble, doesn't get a free kick.
Chance on the counter for United.
Jason Scotland powering past Stan Varga. Off his line came David Marshall to deny the United striker.
It's good play from the goalkeeper. Scotland looks as if he's got away from Varga. His last touch was a poor one. Marshall snapped up the loose ball.
That's good play from Mark Wilson. Mark Kerr. Former Falkirk midfielder Kerr again. That's a poor pass.
That was a poor one. Chance to play Samuel in there. Mark Kerr. Should have been a better pass, not under real pressure.
And there was just the suggestion here that Jason Scotland was being held by Stan Varga as he moved past him. He didn't make a great deal of it, Scotland, but there was definitely a presence there from Varga.
Yeah, if he'd been given wrong, it would have been of the soft variety, to say the least. I don't think that was a penalty.
I guess that's the experienced professional in Varga, isn't it? He's not going to let him get around him easily. He's going to make sure he knows he's there.
Yeah, he did the right thing, Varga, just trying to block him.
There's a Patterson going to come on for Dundee United, not Scott, it's Jim Patterson. Substitution news from Chick.
Yeah, substitution news. Henrik Larsson. No, I was only a joke. I'm only kidding. Is Henrik staying on at the moment? But there it is. It's Patterson coming on for Dundee United. It's Colin Samuel who's going to be coming off. So a wee tactical switch here, I think.
Don't you start doing Henrik hoaxes. 73 minutes gone at Celtic Park. A lively old 0-0 at the moment, and chances with both the champions and United to turn stalemate into victory. Colin Samuel off for Dundee United, and his replacement is Jim Patterson.
I just wonder where Jim Patterson will play. I've seen that substitution before, and Patterson come on for a striker, and he's actually played up front.
Yeah,
normally plays left back, left side midfield. Looks as if he's going to play up front.
Chris Innes with the header. Barry Robson had the chance. David Marshall made the save.
It's another great chance for United.
The match swinging from one end to the other.
I can't believe it's 0-0. Great opportunities at both ends.
Dennis Wyness has scored again for Hearts. Gave the Tynecastle team ahead at 1-0, then 2-1 Motherwell, now 2-2. 2 for Wyness. 3-1 Rangers at East End Park. A mistake by Mark Kerr, who's looking very tired.
You're right, Robbie is tired. This is a chance. It's a good header from Chris Innes. What's this one? Just a head across goal. Robson's on his own, no one near him. It's his weaker foot, his right foot. He gets on target. But you've got to give David Marshall credit as well. This is a good save. It's close to him. You would expect him to save it. And Robson was disappointed and didn't stick it in the net.
I guess what he did, David Marshall, there was close down Robson very quickly. He came off his line and just made the gap that little bit smaller. Yeah, we've seen Dundee United bringing on Jim Patterson before for a striker. starts up front, and then Ian McCall makes a second change and shuffles it further.
Yeah. At this moment, he's up front beside Jason Scotland.
Apart from Scott Patterson on the bench, there's Stuart Duff and 19-year-old Graham Holmes, outfield players. Are Celtic going to end their league season with a victory? Lennon to Sutton. Chipped for Pearson at the back post. And again, that's terrific defending from Mark Wilson. So composed.
It's great play from Wilson. Great header to start with. And quick enough to go into the second ball.
Free kick given against Jason Scotland. Ollie with the free kick. Kraken with the header. Robson with the fresh air shot. Agat to Larsson. There clears. Laid off for Jason Scotland to Charlie Miller. And that's heading out. Martin O'Neill playing ball boy. He's pretty quiet down there, Chick, isn't he?
So quiet. I really don't recall him being ever so quiet, this quiet in a match. And all the time he's been here, certainly does not be doing this job. Very calm and collected Sunday afternoon yesterday.
McNamara plays it in beyond Larsson. The offside flag was up anyway. Not been a bad season, is it, for Mark O'Neill? 25 straight wins in the league this season after drawing at Dunfermline on the opening day. And they won the title via street. Can anyone catch Celtic next season? You would lay a fair bit of money against that, wouldn't you, Sandy?
Yeah, they're certainly the top team in Scotland at the moment. Rangers, obviously, an important spell for them, having to get players out the way, get new players in. The Rangers fans will be demanding more of a closeness to Celtic next season.
Through goes Jim Patterson. Well, his substitute with almost his first touch and a glorious chance of breaking the deadlock.
This is a chance, Rob. Jim Patterson, he's got a very, very good left foot. I don't know why he can't make up his mind what to do here. He's got time to look up, see where the goalkeeper is, and if he connects properly with that, he's got to make life difficult for the keeper. It just makes an absolute hash of it.
Got to Lennon. Thompson to McNamara. Stephen Pearson hugging the touchline. Giving it away to Mark Wilson. Patterson fouled by McNamara. And Jim Patterson will still be scratching his head and wondering why he didn't get a better effort in on goal. It really did fall well for him on his favoured left peg. And you would have put some money on him testing out David Marshall at the very least there.
I just think he's not used to being in that situation, Rob. He's certainly not a natural striker.
Innes with the free kick. Varga lets it go. Stan Varga making his 54th Celtic top team appearance of the season. A man who couldn't get into the Sunderland first team last season. Hearts 3, Motherwell 2, Kevin McKenna, a goal scorer. And from 2-1 down, Hearts now 3-2 up. 5 goals at Tynecastle, 5 goals at East End Park. And we might just as easily have a 5 here. But it remains 0-0. Free kick given for the foul on Didier Agat, and Barry Robson being booked not for that particular offence, but for a series of offences.
Yeah, he's had a few free kicks against him. He also kicked the ball away, lucky to get away with that. But John Underhill, that course is justified. Persistent fouling. There's also a free kick in a dangerous area.
in the 80th minute. Alan Thompson's free kick, Henrik Larsson's header. It's finally happened in his last competitive match at Celtic Park. Larsson marks the milestone with one of his trademark goals.
It's a great header.
It's his 38th goal of the season, his 239th Celtic career goal.
It's a great header from the striker. Craig Easton's picking him up. He gets across him, Gallagher comes for it. Really, the goalkeeper makes a mistake. He's staying his line. There's not enough height in the ball to reach him. The Larsson, up always as high as ever. It's almost a standing jump again. He gets on target this time. It's a great header. And nobody can complain about Larsson scoring today.
Well, he might have got off his feet, Martin O'Neill. Just polite applause for the Larsson goal. And well, they've been dying to play the Magnificent Seven theme tune for 81 minutes. And finally, it's got its play. And Henrik Larsson has got his goal. Larsson's header down for Sutton. Stephen Pearson took too long. He's had a real chance, didn't he, Sandy? Yeah. Stephen Pearson.
Yeah, he's got it earlier up. It's good play from Celtic again. Let's have a go.
From Thompson to Petrov. Innes with the header. And off balance goes Thompson.
This is a chance up for Stephen Pearson. It's in the great areas, Pearson. Supposed to front really well, but really this time he should just hit it early. Chris Sutton does really well and just hit it there. Takes a touch after touch after touch, and eventually he's closed down by United.
The Celtic supporters have been looking on in disbelief for much of the match as Henrik Larsson has passed up chance after chance to get the goal he so badly wanted. And now they're able to give vent to their full feelings. And suddenly it's all going according to script. And how they'll miss Henrik Larsson when he departs the scene in the summer. Barry Robson's free kick, it was a good delivery, played in with a lot of pace. In the end, it's a goal kick. Craig Easton takes his leave for Dundee United, and that's his last game in a tangerine jersey. He's off, and 19-year-old Graham Holmes is on, made his debut against Dunfermline in the Tennis Scottish Cup. And Chick, his dad is Jim Holmes, ex of Morton, isn't he?
Yeah, that's exactly what I was going to tell you. He's a fine player for Morton in the great side of the very early 80s, and teammate of the side included Andy Ritchie and all that lot, so I think they'll go quickly, Rob. Players are looking younger these days, aren't they?
They're like policemen. A Gats cross, Larsson there again! Got one, he's got two. The Henrik Larsson farewell tour gathering momentum. And that's now 39 for the season.
It's a tremendous finish. It's a great ball from Didier Gat. And nobody again will complain about Larsson scoring another goal. Watch his movement. He goes towards the front, comes to the back. It's a good ball in between the goalkeeper and the defenders. And he does everything right, attacks the ball, just gets enough on it to change direction. And he's so close to the goalkeeper, there's no way he's going to miss that one.
There might even be a tear in the eye for Henrik Larsson. It is an emotional afternoon for him. 7 years at Celtic, and there's a good round number. 240 Celtic goals now in 314 games. And in that 7 years, of course, there's been a broken leg and a broken jaw. There have been interruptions. The King of Kings is the cry. And that Looks like a penalty and is badly timed by Stan Varga on Jason Scotland, and Dundee United can now get a goal back.
It's good play from Scotland. He gets beyond Varga, gets a touch in the ball. And the big defender goes across the striker, takes him out of the game. And John Underhill right away awarded the penalty kick. Varga actually makes contact with the player first and then gets a touch in the ball. Easy one for the referee to give.
And it was interesting when the penalty was awarded, striding purposefully towards it immediately was the second youngest player on the pitch, Mark Wilson, the 19-year-old. He wants to take this. He thinks he can get a goal here for Dundee United. His two so far this season have both come against Motherwell. Scotland getting treatment off the pitch. It's Mark Wilson, it's 2-1. Very cool, very calm, and United have got something out of the game at least.
Great composure from Mark Wilson. He watches the goalkeeper. Just look at him here. He knows the goalkeeper commits himself one way, takes his time, decides when he's putting it and rolls it side foot into the net. Great composure from the youngster. He's had a good game today. Deserves that goal.
Celtic are going to make a change. Alan Thompson off. And the final few minutes for 18-year-old Ross Wallace. And Dundee United making a little tactical tweak trick.
Yeah, Ian McCall believes he can still get something out of this, a draw. He's going to push three up front. Charlie Miller's been told to take a much more forward position. They're going to try and get an equaliser.
That's Innes. That was Pearson, fouled by Kerr. Dundee United dithering before getting the ball up to Charlie Miller. I wonder who's going to be man of the match. It must be a very difficult decision for you today, Sandy.
Yeah, I'm not too sure, Rob.
Give you another couple of minutes just to think about it.
Okay.
Well, Jason Scotland is hobbling back towards the Dundee United dugout, having been fouled by Varga for the penalty. Ross Wallace to Henrik Larsson. What about a hat-trick, Henrik, in your final competitive match at Celtic Park? You'll be thinking about it. You'll be fancying it. 2 minutes of regulation time to go. Played away by a very tired-looking McCracken. Petrov to Lennon. Pearson.
United are still a man short. The game won't stop. They'll make the substitution. Scotland being off injured.
Sutton's back heel was seen by David McCracken. Charlie Miller to Jim Patterson. Manny Robson. Good little shimmy, gets him past Neil Lennon. Still it's Robson! Looking for a penalty, but he won't get one.
It's a great tackle from Jackie McNamara. Full contact to the ball.
Ian McCall going loopy, I think is the phrase in the technical area.
I think this is a great tackle from Jackie McNamara. You see it there, he gets a full touch in the ball. Knocking it off Robson.
Yeah, he got just enough there, Jackie McNamara. He did make contact with the ball. It was the right decision, but he got there just in time. Here comes Celtic again. Agat for Sutton. And Paul Gallagher gets there just before Henrik Larsson. Well, what do you reckon?
Well, I think man of the match today, Rob. There was only really one contender before the game started. I think today Henrik Larsson showed all the qualities that he has. He missed a few half chances, but showed great strength of character to keep working away. Eventually he knew the chance would come. He's now got 2 chances and 2 goals, and he's my Bank of Scotland man of the match.
And John Underhill is having words with the 4th official as the substitution is made, and that is because of the verbal, I think, from Ian McCall. And he's been sent off, Ian McCall, by John Underhill, sent out of the technical area because of comments made after that penalty, which he felt was a penalty, which we've shown wasn't given. So McCall off, and presumably strong stuff directed from him at the referee.
Yeah, you can understand Ian McCall's frustration. He's a passionate football manager. He was looking for a penalty kick. You'll only see it through orange spectacles.
Full time at Celtic Park, and the champions end their league season with another win. And who else but Henrik Larsson to score the goals which gave them another victory. 2 in 3 minutes, 2 in the final 10 minutes, and the rest of the family were there to enjoy it. There's little Jordan, and how he will have enjoyed the sight of his dad tucking those 2 late chances away and bringing Larsson's Celtic years towards a fairy tale ending. Still, of course, the Tennent Scottish Cup final to come, but he's wiping a tear from his eye, understandably, because everything about today has been directed towards him, and Henrik's face tells a story hugely emotional for him as he bids farewell to Celtic Park. And it was so typical of Larsson today that he passed up chance after chance after chance. He was trying too hard to get the goal or goals he so desperately wanted. Then, having scored once, like buses, 2 came along at the same time. And Celtic were there, and Henrik Larsson had got them there, as has so often happened in the past. A penalty for Dundee United, and Mark Wilson tucked it away with some aplomb, but there was going to be no shunting away of Henrik from centre stage here. And his latest Celtic goals, which take his season's tally to 39 and which take his overall Celtic career tally to 240, have proved decisive here against a very impressive Dundee United side. We shouldn't lose sight of the fact that they've performed admirably here today, and they've very much lived up to their pre-match billing. But it's the Larsson family who've shed a few tears here this afternoon, because Henrik has ended his Celtic Park days in style. 7 magnificent seasons, 19 goals in the first, 38 in the second, 12 in the third, 53, 35, 44, and now 39 for this season, with still the cup final to come. 240 Celtic career goals for the magnificent 7.
Well, one day these young Celtic fans will be able to tell their grandchildren that they saw Henrik Larsson play. Just for a minute there we thought he hadn't read the scripts, but how could we ever have doubted him? 2 goals in the last 9 minutes. It's ended just the way that Henrik Larsson and Celtic wanted it to. And Martin O'Neill, I'm quite sure, is delighted. Here he is with Jeff.
The picture of the emotional of the afternoon, it was you had to write the script. It looked like a long time as if he wasn't going to get the goals.
Well, it was very emotional, and we all are at the end. It's a fantastic end to a fantastic time here, no doubt about it, from a wonderful, wonderful play.
Yeah, we saw you very calm throughout the afternoon. As calm as I've seen you in a couple of years, but in the dugout area. But the drama was yet to come.
Well, the drama was to come. You know, you always feel that here he is. You always think he's capable of scoring. It's, for one, I'm much taller. I'll tell you what, in the air he's just sensational. He's a sensational player. The rest is up to him. He's
Henrik,
fantastic.
I thought you were a man of ice, but the emotion all came today for you, didn't it?
No, it's I can't even speak. It's been fantastic years, and sorry, I can't.
This is. I mean, there's a lot of hundreds of thousands of fans watching this. Celtic fans outside. We can show you some of the pictures of the supporters out there waiting to salute you. I mean, what do these supporters mean to you?
I mean, it's been tremendous for me all the years here, and it's just great to be part of something special like this. And
the chances they fell for you today, we wondered whether the goals were going to come for you. Did you begin to worry you weren't going to get the goals in your last day?
Yeah, I started swinging at everything at one stage here today, but fortunately I got one. The first one, great ball from Tomo. The second one, great ball from Magat, and once you made the first one, you don't miss the second one.
It's been an incredible ride the last few years for you, hasn't it? It's been an amazing story.
He's been fantastic, and obviously the gaffer, when he came up as well, things started to go forward, and things started to happen, and then it's just a pleasure to be at the club like this.
Are you still sure you want to go? This is probably the time to ask you.
Yeah, no, I've made my mind up, and I'm going to miss this, and there's no doubt about it. But yeah, as I said many of times, it's time for me to go.
Is there any moment that you particularly call? Is there one moment that will always be special to you?
Oh, I mean, my whole career here at Celtic has been obviously we had ups and downs, but I mean the last 4 years has been tremendous.
Martin, a word or two just about him, what he's contributed to this football club.
He was talking about a privilege to play. The privilege is all ours.
Is he the best you've had?
He's absolutely fantastic.
Martin, I think
fantastic.
I've got a bottle of champagne for you somewhere here, but I'm sure will be open before the night. I think on behalf of all the Celtic fans, you've been given a joy. Man of the match today, but man of the last few years here at Celtic Park. Tremendous performance.
Thank you very much.
Sensational from a sensational player.
Thank you, Martin.
Listen, no age, we're going to have to go back and maybe.
What, not astonishingly brilliant as well? It's a remarkable achievement, isn't it? 240 goals in 314 games, an average of 3 goals in every 4 games, and that almost defies belief in the current congested penalty areas. Is that fair, Paul?
I think so. I mean, look, he would go anywhere. He'd go to Italy, he'd go to Spain, he'd go to all the top leagues in the world, he'd go to the Premiership. He's in Scotland, he's done it. And when you talk about greatness, you talk about consistency over a period of time. And he's done it at every single level, international level, he's done it in Europe, he's done it domestically, and it's absolutely fantastic.
And for a man who is normally so controlled, so self-assured, and the emotion of this great day has finally got to Henrik Larsson. Hard for him to walk away from this, Gordon, I would think.
Oh, it must be, but you know, there comes a time, it's only emotional because he is walking away. He wouldn't feel that way if he was back another season. He would feel differently. So that's why the emotion's there, because he's made his mind up. He said he was leaving. He stuck to his word, and he didn't feel envy about exactly where his career was going. It's been a phenomenal time. He is emotional about it, but what a player he's been for Celtic. His scoring record, you mentioned it, Dougie, worked out 3 goals every 4 games is unbelievable. And I said, even if he was a bad player, that would be unbelievably efficient and also consistent. But he's also a very good player. He's a terrific servant, and I think that his best performance, in my opinion, was the UEFA Cup final. Yeah, I thought he was brilliant, and he showed at that level. All the doubters, people who say he couldn't do it at the top level, an absolute nonsense. He scored 2 goals that night, and he put in a great performance against a Porto side who this year, obviously, in the Champions League final.
And interestingly as well, it shows the mentality of Henrik Larsson. That's the one game that he doesn't want to talk about. He feels was not a highlight. He's never watched the tape, apparently, despite his own terrific individual performance. Celtic didn't win, so therefore it doesn't count, and that's a measure of the man's mentality.
Yeah,
Paul.
that typifies it where the team is first, isn't it? First and foremost, he's been a great team man in everything that he does, everything that he says. his contribution towards the team has been colossal, and that's forgetting that, you know, us eulogising about his fabulous goal record, and I think that's what makes him a little bit special. You know, as Gordon said, you've got great goal scorers, but very few of them contribute so much to the team with him in terms of his industry, his assists for other players, and his whole presence on the park. And even today, isn't it? I mean, you know, he was lashing at everything that moved, and I thought, well, he still could have got 7, and he ended up getting 2 of the most as good a goals I've ever seen this season.
His goals were a great lesson to any player as well, because what you have to do when you're a striker is obviously you keep going.
That's right. Even persistence, isn't it, Gordon? On a bad day at the office, when it's not going your way, you keep working hard.
A lot of players would hide at that point and say, well, it's not my day, but he didn't, and he was still looking for chances.
Self-belief,
never hides,
confidence.
always looking for the ball, isn't it? And wonderful that his family here to see it and to share it with him. Well, these are unique scenes. There are very few players I can remember, and we've had some great players in Scottish football over the years, have had this sort of send-off and this level of emotion and affection from the fans.
That young man with that shirt, that'd be worth a few quid, wouldn't it?
Absolutely.
Well, his shirts have been selling big time over. Honestly, every time you go to a dinner in Glasgow,
so Henrik Larsson comes out of the closet, isn't it?
Charities is auctioning a Henrik Larsson shirt, and they've been selling for major prices this year about Glasgow because he's leaving, and there's a value to them, isn't there? So he's raised a lot of money for charity as well this year.
He has indeed.
Get credit for that too.
And of course there's still a cup final to come, and I would imagine it's very short odds against him scoring a goal, if not the winner, next week against Dunfermline. He just seems to have that knack. I regularly chair the Bank of Scotland awards lunches on a monthly basis, and every month we talk about the players who are worthy of the Player of the Month award, and every month somebody will say, what's Henrik done this month? Oh, he's only scored 6 goals. It's almost taken for granted.
That's the thing, Doug, isn't it? When you have such quality, don't you, and a gentleman as well, you in many respects you do, but you get it as well, don't you? You get the best from him, and even on a bad day, you know, when he's not hitting the target, he's just contributing so much to the team, and for me, that's what empathises what he really is about.
We've been lucky to have had him in Scottish football for the last 7 years. It's a stunning goal-scoring record. 240 goals in 314 games, with still one more competitive match to come. Henrik Larsson's farewell to Celtic Park. Strange old game in a lot of ways, wasn't it? We were looking at the goals coming in from East End Park and from Tynecastle and thinking, isn't it ironic, we're going to end up here with what looked for a long time like being a nothing each, Gordon, but then Henrik stepped in to do the job which he was here to do.
Yeah, I mean, we felt before the game that Henrik Larsson, normal circumstances, plays well today, would be man of the match, but up to his goals it was looking like Paul Gallagher was going to get man of the match. He performed really well, and Dundee United had done well, but that just turned the game, and how often have we said it? Even some of the games that Henrik wasn't playing particularly well, he turned the game around. I felt that Dundee United did pretty well today.
They did, yes. In fact, it was a good match for all that we'd only 3 late goals.
It was impressive, wasn't it? Yeah. I think Dundee United got a very good young side out. They passed the ball well. There's good movement. There's youth. There's enthusiasm. There's great energy in their side. Charlie Miller, I was particularly impressed with. Gallagher, the keeper, I thought was outstanding. Young Easton as well, and there's a lot of optimism there for their future.
Let's take a look at the 3 goals then. They all came in the final 9 minutes here at Celtic Park, just when it looked like going to be a no-scoring draw, and this was how the deadlock was broken. We've said it a million times, but for someone who's not 6'3", what a header of volley is.
Timing, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. He hangs in the air.
The timing's perfect, and it's an early jump. Look at how high up he gets.
But he sits there, though, Gordon, doesn't he? He sits there, Gallagher in no man's land, defender in no man's there.
You know what? That's a Dennis Law header.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
And you're brave, Doug, because if the keeper connects with you there, I mean, you're carrying a broken jaw, aren't you? But how many times we've seen him, you know, year after year produce that?
This goal, the interesting thing, any kid watching this too, an example, watch his movement. You'll not see it so much in this picture, but watch in this rerun. Look at his movement. It goes as if he's going to go near post. Yeah. Takes the defender's eye away from it, and then he sneaks in behind him.
But
That's
also
fantastic.
Quality of the ball.
Yeah, great
Gordon,
ball in.
Fabulous ball, wasn't it? You know, I mean, it's absolutely perfect, and that means a stunning finish as well. Adjusts his body, takes the sting out the cross, and it's a sweet, subtle finish.
Now, this was the penalty kick which brought Dundee United back into the game. Very well taken by Mark Wilson. No real argument to Stan Varga's challenge.
No. I thought he was actually fouled before when another incident, Jason Scotland by Stan Varga. he went down a little bit late when he just realised that he'd lost possession of the ball, but I think if he'd gone down right away, he was felt that was a penalty too. I didn't agree with the other one.
The second claim.
The second claim.
Yeah.
Jackie McNamara's tackle, I thought it was clean, but the one before that.
Although Ian McCall certainly thought it was a penalty.
From where he was standing here, probably did look like.
But from that angle, you probably could see.
We saw it. We thought it looked
exactly.
as well.
From the angle where he was in the dugout, he probably looked like. But I thought it was a superb timing by McNamara. I mean, you know, there you've got to time it to perfection because the slightest contact there, the player's down. It's inside the box. It was really a terrific tackle.
Yeah. So a great deal for Dundee United to be optimistic about. They're a tough start to the season, as we all know, Gordon. But just in the last few months, this long unbeaten home record they've had, they've got some good young players coming through. It'd be a great shame if they were to lose Charlie Miller and Paul Gallagher, wouldn't it?
It will be. It's a shame they're losing that kind of quality. There's a little cloud over Dundee United as well on the financial side, as we know. Players have had to take a cut, and even the manager himself has had to take a wage cut. So there are financial problems there, as there are throughout Scottish football, and you just hope that doesn't affect them during the summer in terms of how they can rebuild if they lose. Players like Gallagher, Miller, Easton, as we know, is leaving as well, and he played well today.
He did.
But so from that point of view, that you wanted Dundee United to remain a strong side, because we need the challenge in the Scottish League.
Of course.
But I think they'll take a lot from today. The younger players performed very well. Robson, in his first season at this level, performed well today. Mark Kerr, come up for Falkirk, did very well too. And I think that you just need to look through the side. They've got good young players coming through, and I think that as Dundee United's main challenge would be to try and get a European spot, try and challenge Hearts to get into Europe next year.
Talking of Hearts, we'll see their match in just a moment, but two other Bank of Scotland Premier League matches taking place this afternoon. Let's bring you brief highlights of those. Starting at East End Park, Cup finalist Dunfermline up against Rangers, and this was a fairly controversial opening goal. Rangers weren't happy about Gary Dempsey taking that free kick so quickly. Michael Moles was booked for protesting. Moles, the Rangers captain today, and then after that tackle went flying in, that had to be a second yellow, and the Rangers captain was sent off. So Rangers down to 10 men after just half an hour, and clearly a lot of unhappiness in the Rangers ranks, both about the nature of the first goal and the Moles sending off. But despite his protests, it was Moles who went. But Fernando Rickson took over the captain's armband and then played a captain's part. What a good strike. 1-1. Fernando Rickson just 3 minutes before half-time, and then, oh Gordon, you like this player, I know. What about Chris Burke's goal just on the interval?
Yeah, that's a bit special, wasn't it? I mean, there's a lovely bit of skill, and then he put it in there, and then the third goal, obviously a penalty as well. I think it was Ross McCormick who was fouled, took it himself, scored, and then was substituted.
Absolutely. So an eventful afternoon at East End Park, and it's not over yet because Gary Dempsey gets a second goal for Dunfermline, but it finishes 3-2 to Rangers, and that's not the ideal build-up for Dunfermline ahead of the Cup final, obviously, Paul, but from what we've seen of it, they made a fist of it.
Yeah, but you know, Cup finals, they're one-off occasions, Doug, innit? It's a team that plays well on the day, gets the right result, gets a little bit of luck with themselves, and but I think looking at Celtic, I think they'll be fully focused. They'll take a lot from the second half performance, and you know, I think Celtic will win the Cup final.
All right, so Rangers pick up 3 points. They've played a young side today, in fact, with Adam in the side as well. To Tynecastle, rather, Hearts Motherwell, which is also a game which produced plenty of goals in the final afternoon of the season. Dennis Wyness, who's will possibly be disappointed with his own performance this season. He hasn't been the regular starter that he wanted to be, but Paul Hartley's ball across goal turned in by Wyness to put Hearts 1 up. That was after just 5 minutes. But this young Motherwell side have impressed everyone after their problems of last year. They've taken a top 6 place, and the ball across there turned off the post by Burns and then into the net by Scott MacDonald. 1-1 at Tynecastle just before half-time. And having been a goal down, the corner kick comes over, and it's David Clarkson, this fine teenage striker, who heads Motherwell 2-1 in front again. Into the second half. And again, there's an empty net beckoning, and it's Kevin McKenna who rolls it home. Dennis Wyness, rather, that was the second goal, my apologies, 2 each. It was McKenna, in fact, who got this one. This was the winner for Hearts with 15 minutes left. Hearts 3-2 winners, and that means that they finish third on the table for the third time in 5 seasons. And let's just confirm that with a look at the Bank of Scotland Premier League table. There it is, that's how it finishes. Celtic convincing winners, Rangers well clear in second, Hearts in the end well clear in third. Motherwell delighted to have finished in the top 6, Dundee the best of the rest. And I think credit has to be given to Hearts. We all know Craig Levine's problems, Gordon, in terms of cutting his budget again. He's been told to do it again this summer, but he's still taken it to third in the league.
I think he's been impressive, Craig Levine, and he's doing a terrific job. Certainly to get them in the position of fighting for European spot. There's not much between all the Scottish sides outside Rangers and Celtic, but certainly Hearts, have established themselves as the third force at the moment, and other teams are chasing them. Dunfermline chased them for quite a while this year and then didn't quite get near them at the end, so I think Craig Levine takes a lot of credit for that.
Yeah. When you look around the sides in the table there, Paul, everyone now seems to have 3 or 4 young players, and that is the real hope for the future.
Yeah, exactly. And I mean, you look at Celtic, they've won the 19s, the 21s, the reserves, and I think generally, they're producing players. Other young teams, seen Dundee United, they're producing players, Hearts players, and I think that's important for Scotland. I'm sure Bertie Volts will be looking to the future, and you've got a lot of talent at 21 level coming through, and young players at 17, 18, 19, that's playing regular at a top level, at a good level, and I think that can only bode well for Scotland and its future.
Yeah, assuming we get through these dreadful financial problems, which is maybe a big assumption, Gordon, but generally we're more optimistic at the end of this season than we maybe were at the start?
I think because the financial problems have been addressed, you can be more optimistic. I think that when we come through this period, provided the clubs survive, I think they'll be in a better position, because a few clubs have been going ahead out with their means, and it was always going to end in disaster, certainly for 1 or 2 who were well outside their means. So I think from that point of view that the Scottish game will go ahead, and although you can't say that we might have the same level of players coming in from abroad, we will be going forward with Scottish players, and I think that that's a big bonus to us. Certainly at international level in the future, where more and more the teams, Dundee United out today, Celtic not quite so many, but we know they're bringing through players, although when it comes to the crucial games they're not quite getting established. Rangers had a few playing today, and I know from going around the under-21 league and under-19 league as well, there are a lot of good Scottish players coming through, and it's just a question of giving them their opportunity, and I think more and more we'll see that.
Yes, and they're getting it perhaps almost for the wrong reasons and through financial necessity. What we'd like to see as well, Paul, of course, is it making a greater challenge in Europe. It's fallen largely to Celtic in the last couple of years, but we'd like to see the other clubs making an impact as well.
Absolutely. I mean, we signed the last old firm last week. I mean, you look at Rangers, they've got young Burt, they've got Hughes coming through, Hutton at right back, and I think probably the economic crisis has not been good for the game, but the good that can come out of that is that clubs now have had to look to their own and put stronger emphasis on coaching and development of their own players and bringing them through, because the money isn't there to go and buy a quick fix overseas. So I think that's the positive that comes out the negative, and in the long term it takes time, but I think it's certainly pointing in the right direction.
Yeah, but as we were saying earlier, Gordon, we need a competitive SPL, and we need relegation to be meaningful. We need, whether it's Partick, Thistle or whoever, we need someone to be penalised for finishing bottom and someone to come in, don't we?
Yes, and we need to change the draconian rules about the size of stadiums and how many seats you have to have and all that sort of stuff. It's just a nonsense.
Yeah. And to be fair, that was an ambitious and perhaps logical thing to insist upon when the SPL was set up, but it's no longer necessary.
Exactly. The game's changed, and we shouldn't be making those restrictions and keeping and holding to them. It's a shame for the teams that have had to spend money as well, because they suffered because they've had to spend money. The Airdries and St Mirren, people like that, the Partick Thistles, they've all suffered because of it. So let's hope we can sort that out. But we still need reconstruction. I still think the SPL has to change the format, whether it's going to 16 teams or whether we go to a different type of split, so that you've got a situation with the bottom of the league joining up with the top of the first division for a playoff league. Different types of ideas, but we need to have reconstruction.
We need to address that, no doubt about it. But here at Celtic Park, it's been Henrik Larsson's day. He obliged with 2 goals to give Celtic all 3 points with a 2-1 win on his final league appearance here at Celtic Park. He was, as thousands of you predicted, the man of the match. Well done to Francis McLeish and Mark Rush and Richard Gibson, all of whom win the prizes. And in fact, Henrik Larsson's life will be the subject of a Footballer's Life's documentary a week on Monday at 10:35.